where's this season gone? And we are here in the land of the dreams. I can't remember what it is now. Basically, we're in America, and we are here in Austin, Texas. Well, one of the newest circuits of the Formula One calendar, and one of the better circuits as well. I mean, look at that track layout. That's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Brilliant stuff indeed. So we're here at COTA, Circuit of the Americas. So this is going to be an absolutely fantastic evening of racing. It really is. And we got 20 turns around here, 3.4 miles long, and of course the lap record holder is held by Lewis Hamilton, which I have a feeling will be smashed here tonight because we are with the elite guys, and they are not slow by any stretch of the imagination, are they? Of course, I am joined by of course a very experienced driver in his own right, Dave Shaw. How's it going, mate?
Very well, thank you, mate. Very well. Apologies to everyone about last week and the footage cutting short early. That was a real shame because that was shaped up to be a stunning race, and it was a stunning race. And yeah, my internet went down, so my bad for that, guys. But worked well on this week. Sad the season's nearly done, Sean. I cannot believe we're nearly finished. I'm gutted. I've really enjoyed the racing this season. It's gone to a whole new level since round 8 in Belgium, and the championship, there's nothing in it. Although looks like sadly no Vanquish again. Deneen could all but wrap it up tonight.
Indeed he can. It's a shame about Vanquish.
Vanquish is here! Oh, hold the press! Hold the back page! Vanquish is here!
Wow, well that's exciting stuff, isn't it? No disrespect to Deneen at all, because I tell you what, it'd be great to see Deneen lift the crown, but we also love to see Vanquish as well. Absolutely fantastic stuff. I want to see a championship showdown. That's what we all want to see. And with 3 rounds to go, we're certain this is getting very, very tasty indeed, isn't it? Brilliant stuff. And I'm loving the fact that Vanquish has made an epic appearance. And hopefully I can't wait to see go head-to-head, Deneen and Vanquish. Only 2 points separates the two drivers in the championship. It's incredibly close, isn't it? It's been a stellar season, and as Dave mentioned, I can't believe we're on round 19 already. It's flown by, hasn't it? It almost feels like yesterday we was in Australia, wasn't it? Where we had a Ferrari win too, and that looked ominous for the season. But my goodness me, it's been ups and downs, hasn't it? It's been brilliant from start to finish. Of course, as Dave said, since Belgium onwards, that incredible race in Belgium. I will never forget that race. It's my all-time favourite. I mean, wow, it felt like a proper old-school real Formula 1 race, like Belgium '98 and things like that. It was epic. So I would say that's the kind of racing we've seen since, well, I think we've seen since most of the season, really. Of course, I've been watching a couple of the highlight videos as well, which Dave, you've been going through, and I've got to say, the quality has been fantastic all the way through the season, though, hasn't it?
Yeah. As I said in the videos, which are available on YouTube and the Facebook page, are up to round 7 now, I think. But the first 4 races hit some real bugs, of course, with the game being fresh out. Of course, Codemasters usually struggle in the first month and a bit. But it was still good racing. Bahrain, 10 drivers. It was a fantastic race, one of the races of the season. But from Spain onwards, that epic duel between Slim, Vanquish and Deneen, it set the tone. It really did set the tone, and from then on, Belgium is still the best race I've seen in IRC history, without a doubt. And I can't wait to drop that on Friday. France was just as good, and so was Austria's, and Germany. There was it's been a fantastic season. Mexico sticks out, Singapore sticks out, Russia sticks out. The epic 10 car duel for the lead. It's been a phenomenal season, and it's ending. I hope Vanquish, it was wanting Vanquish now, hopefully can get in. But it'd be great if Vanquish can take the championship to Deneen for the final 3 races.
Indeed it is, and saying that Belgium in the season 2 of Elite is the best race of the season is that is no small statement.
Best race, like that you just didn't know how it was going to turn. Yor and Jamie were on intermediates when, of course, the safety car came out because it was so wet, and I've never seen that before. And then, of course, the leaders pitted, put on the 4 wets. Then Yor and Jay pitted, put on the intermediates. They were swamped on the restart. They dropped all the way down. And all of a sudden, the intermediates turned on, and they stormed through the field to take a 1-2. It was just fantastic. You just didn't know where it was going to go until the very end. Lucas, the one that got away for him, just like in Hungary.
Oh yes, I completely forgot about Hungary. That was an incredible race as well, wasn't it? It was flashes of Damon Hill back in his hours, wasn't it? When Lucas was battling the so-called big names in the Elite League. It was fantastic to see. Really enjoyed that. And of course, yeah, I would say the Belgium is the best race I have ever seen. It was brilliant. I've actually gone. I remember going back to watch it like the day after to like see what happened, because I think the race after was it. I think it was France. I think. Just to have a quick review and qualifying, and my goodness me, I had to watch it 3 or 4 times because so much action that happened in that race. It was incredible. Just quickly catch up on the comments. Then we got Lucas saying good evening Lucas, hope you're well. We've also got Sprint as well. Sprint, a super driver, and I tell you what, he could be a big name in the future, isn't he? As he goes, let's go mentor. Of course, that is of course him and Vanquish out. It's like Star Wars, isn't it?
Vanquish is joined with 10 seconds to go. We are in. Yes, that's what the championship needed. Phew!
My goodness me, Vanquish does like to cut it fine, doesn't he? To be honest, he's such a cool cucumber, isn't he? He's the coolest cat in the house, isn't he? We've also got Tim saying good evening, all. Good evening, Timmy. Hope you're well.
Tim.
We've also got Baptist as well. BP Army is back, indeed, and also we got
BP Army. I'll come to them in a second.
And we've also got Jonathan Cox saying good evening, good luck to Elite tonight. Of course, Jonathan potentially be driving on Wednesdays next season, of course, if it all goes well, because remember, it's the top 3 from Super that will be promoted to the Elite League, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what those guys could do in a full season in Elite League. That's just going to make season 3 absolutely phenomenal, Dave. Anyway, about BP's Army.
BP's Army, what, 20 of them? 20 of them last week. You know, to comments, the Bredens were out in force for young BP, as were the Belgians for RU Racing. Of course, RU Racing and Not That Bad are in the field again. RU Racing was the star last week on his Elite League debut. He'll be racing full-time next season in the Elite. But I cannot wait to see what he does again today, because I thought Not That Bad, the runaway leader in the Super League at the moment, would really be the one to watch. RU Racing just shone through. Fantastic.
I gotta say, RU Racing in the last couple of events in Super has been top notch, though, hasn't he? He's really impressed. Second half of the season, he's really come on song, and I'd love to have seen what him and Not That Bad would have done in a full season of Super. It would have been an absolute epic duel, wouldn't it? But I gotta say, RU Racing has been pretty impressive over the last couple of weeks, hasn't he? Really shown. I think he's had 3 pole positions in the last 4 or 5 races. It's been really fantastic stuff as well. Jonathan is saying see you tomorrow. Of course, Jonathan is part of the Super League. We've also got Nosey saying good evening. We've also got Cass saying let's go BP. We've also got Gavin saying Nosey, and the driver of the day goes to Gunnar. Great stuff. Nosey then with his banter out already. My goodness me! I tell you what, they keep me on my toes on Thursday, don't they? And we've also got
a quick one as well, Shawnee. Welcome back to TTG Navy. Dutch Dave, of course, who's taking a bit of time out with his studies. He's all done now, and he is back in for the rest of the season, and will be taking part full time next season as well to complete the Elite League grid. And I'm excited to see another Dutchman, I think another Bredden as well, if I remember rightly. Dutch Dave in action tonight. It's good to see him back.
It is, and of course the Spanish Grand Prix, I think he made his debut, didn't he? And my goodness,
second place. Yeah,
it was the Dutch Army, wasn't it? It was almost like the Verstappen fans. They were wild in that race. It was incredible. Oh, we've also got Lennon saying yo yo yo. And it's great to have all your comments. It's brilliant, good stuff. We'd like to also know what your predictions are for this race. I got to say, we haven't even touched on the track yet, have we, Dave? I mean, it's becoming a very much a fans league. This is, isn't it? It's the fans are making it just as good as the race themselves, which is quite a big statement. But I think that's a fair statement, isn't it? Really, it's been brilliant. The fans. Have over the course of the season, of course, with the BP Army, with the Dutch Army.
The league's growing, the viewer numbers are growing every race now. We got our highest ever viewers last week, mainly thanks to the BP crew. We were just shy of 200, which was a new record last week, and it helps that the championship with just 2 points separating Vanquish, the Dutchman, and the Deneen the Irish. And Jamie's still not out of it yet. The other Dutchman. 52 points, I think, adrift. He has to win today, really, and Vanquish and Deneen to hit trouble for him to have any realistic chance of taking the championship. But it's been a good season for Jamie, whatever happens this season.
He's tailed off a bit, hasn't he, Jamie?
He has. He started using no touch control. He was using medium touch control until Japan, where he trialled, and he's working for next season, and he's now using no touch control. So watch out for Jamie again next season. But it's been a massive improvement. He has been super consistent this season, Jamie.
He has. I think he's only got one win this season. If my spreadsheet's up to date, it was in Hungary, wasn't it? Which I found that quite a surprising stat when I was just double checking.
When I was doing the review videos, I was like, when does Jamie win? Constantly on the podium, several podiums, super consistent this year. But I couldn't believe his first win. I was like, when does he win? It was Hungary. So consistency has really got him in the championship hunt this year.
He has, and I'm a bit up and down on this one when I've been thinking about it. But of course, you would like to win. But I think that the way Jamie's performed this season, as you said, he's Mr. Consistent, and I feel that he doesn't really need to change his style for next season, does he? Because really, it's going to take a superhuman effort to beat Jamie anyway, but there are two superhuman drivers on the grid here tonight, and that is Vanquish and Deneen, so they must be superhuman to be as not a bag as fast as on there, 33-1 so far. But yeah, two super elite drivers in Vanquish and Deneen. But I'm a big fan of Jamie. I'm a big fan of all these guys, really. I love going on board with them. It's brilliant commitment. Car control is outstanding, second to none. It's really good stuff to watch. Really enjoyed it.
Watching back on the video, again, the season review videos, the amount of wheel-to-wheel racing that's been clean and fair and not ended in disaster like we've seen in open lobbies. It's just been incredible to watch. Some of it, I was trying to find the overtake of the year while I was watching. I'm like, there's been some super moves by everybody this season. Super clean. Next year is going to be. I cannot wait for next year. We've got likes of. All these guys here are race winners. All of these can win a race. All of them have had their moments. Every single driver here have had their moments if it had gone right to win a race this year and score podiums. T. Sammy's had a podium. He's a huge midfield runner. Lucas has had 2 races where he could have won, possibly 3. BP had a chance in Singapore. Yours been up there. He's won races. Flying Sods have won a race this season. The RU Racing is going to be up there. Dan Murphy and Co-Andy, who's not here tonight, they've had chances to win this season. Nolsey on his day is absolutely capable of winning a race. Stam won the race in Russia but was disqualified to second. Been up there. Blaz is super consistent. Crazy Power has had some good podiums. This whole entire grid are elite races, and the 3 coming up next year as well as Ozone joins. Oh, maybe not. Maybe Ozone finishing a race would be as good as a victory yet to finish this season. But honestly, the grid is just set up. Next season, perfect. It's such a shame we'll lose the legend that is Vanquish.
Yeah, that is a mighty big blow, isn't it, to be losing Vanquish? I've got to say, seeing some of his classic drives have been epic. I always keep referring back to Silverstone, the British Grand Prix Season 1, how he was on a completely different strategy compared to the other 3 running. Remember, the other 3 running was Slim Samster in a karting. My goodness me. And he was on the other
season, of course.
Yeah, we really look forward to Carton come back. Of course, he started the season, it tailed off a bit, but it's great to have Carton back. Of course, one of the IRC originals per se, isn't it? Really, it's great to have the originals along with the new breed as well. The likes of Deneen, as we got Dutch Dava Navy, who's just flown to the top on a 32-2 here. I've got to say, these times are electric. But do you expect anything less from the Elite? I certainly don't. My goodness, as we're just
expect the unexpected, as the Elite goes. I've found this year. Expect every single race we have new runners at the front. The second half of the season, the main reason why Vanquish, Deneen and Jamie are up there is because they've been consistent from the start, but from the second half it's just been new names at the top every time. There's been new front runners. That's what's been the beauty of this league. As there goes RU Racing, he's a star qualifying last week on his debut. I am so stoked to see this guy in Elite next season. He is going to, and he can still win the Super League Championship. He's not completely out of it yet, but I can't wait to see this guy.
Yeah, of course. We had a bit of drama last week, didn't we? We're not that bad, having a bit of a nightmare in the race. So it's really bunched up the Super. Remember, Super's on tomorrow night. Of course, Thursday, same time, 8 o'clock. Don't miss that one, because that is going to be fantastic. It really is. And of course, not that bad. He's under a bit of pressure now. He's still got a margin of error, but I think that last week's race has really made it a bit nervy there. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for Super tomorrow night. Deneen has gone fastest on a 32 flat there. Good time there for Deneen. We've also got
BP about to finish. Yeah, BP about to finish his lap as well. The Dutch army, the Breton army.
And he's coming through the final corner now. Turn that in 20 now, and you can see the sun right in his eyes there. My goodness, that's going to be a bit of a glare then. We got 2 DRS zones around Kota, of course, one on the start-finish straight and one on the back straight as well, where all the Americans and the Mexicans in their RVs are all lined up on the side of the track, and you can smell the barbecue. And that's why I love this place. I love a bit of barbecue. So we've got just on board with Yor now in the Red Bulls. He's just coming through the S's as well. Jacob goes faster than
9.
My goodness, I'll tell you what, that man is a specialist in qualifying. He has had how many poles has he had this season? 7 pole positions. That is incredible, isn't it? We're on round.
He runs into too much. His biggest problem is he runs into too much trouble. He's super quick. He's the fastest man in Sector 1 in time trial in the world on PlayStation. Fastest man in Sector 1 in the world on PlayStation. He's one of the quickest drivers in the world around this track, but he's just a man who, when he gets his racecraft together, when he gets his strategy right, when he sticks it out the wall and stays out of trouble, he's a genuine championship contender that should take it to Deneen. As there goes Vanquish right behind Deneen. The 2 championship contenders are 2nd and 3rd. 2 points separate Deneen and Vanquish. And then they are already. Gloves are off. Who can interfere with the championship contenders? Can Jacob get involved? There goes Yor, who splits to 2 as I speak. Are you racing? It's not as straightforward for Vanquish and Deneen. They're not going directly head to head. They've got to contend with a lot of drivers who are on good pace with them. It's going to be a fascinating final 3 races.
It is, and of course they are very challenging final 3 races as well. Of course, we're here in Circuit de Mer as well. And Dave goes up into a 31.9. I keep calling him Dave. Navy goes up into first position in the beautiful gold and black Haas. Of course, the home of the Haas team. That's a very good time indeed from Dutch Dave. He's looking very much on it, isn't he, on his return? So good to see him out on track, and it's great to see Dutch Dave back as well. I must admit, I was disappointed when he wasn't racing anymore, but it's great to see him back, and it's we look forward to what he can do in a full season, because he could be, well, I'd say he could be a challenge contender. All these guys could be championship contenders next season. Really, it's a brilliant grid. It's an absolutely incredible class of drivers. It really is. And as you mentioned there, Dave, about Jacob there being fast in the world in Sector 1. My goodness me, that Sector 1 is nothing to sneeze at either. It's a brilliant.
It's one of the best first sectors in the league, in the calendar. I love this track. This is a real driver's track. Sector 1 is with the S's. It's like Japan, Suzuka with the S's. It's a thrill to get it right. If you get it right, it feels so good. And it's not easy, because it's so easy to pick up a penalty. You run too much over the curbs, straight away your time's invalidated. It's so easily done, but when you nail it, it is an absolute thrill. I love this track. Not many drivers do for some reason, but it's a real challenging track, and I'm so far surprised at how close the times are. It's a long lap round here. It's a mid 130s, and at these times, the top 4 separated by less than a tenth, top 11 separated by 7 tenths. This is a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
It is, and I got to say, Dutch Dave and Navy and Jacob there are separated by 5 hundredths of a second there at the top of the time sheet at the moment. Already in the 31s. I got to say that's blown my hat off. That's incredibly quick already.
That. No, I was not expecting 131s this early on. These times are already better than my time trial time that I've been doing. And in race conditions, this is quick, as somebody else has just jumped into the mix.
Jacob, I think he's just called it a day in Q1. I got a little worried then.
Lennon says he literally can't see in the last corner. You mentioned the sun there, Sean. As Dan Murphy pots himself 7th. Look how close these times are. This is turning into a pretty interesting Q1. Blaz, Knowlesy and Stam yet to go. Dutch Dave, or TGG Navy, is done as well. But who are we going to lose to this session? Could be a whole host of runners having to go out again at the end of Q1. This could be very interesting.
And of course, with a grid with such talent in there, there's always going to be 4 surprises when we in Q1. There's always going to be surprises in Q2, and that's the nature of this league. It's brilliant stuff indeed. Just on board Knowles, he's coming through turn 18 now. Of course, that was modelled off after the infamous turn 8 in Turkey. I gotta say, I do miss that track.
Yeah.
Beautiful track it was indeed, but unfortunately it was in the middle of nowhere, I think, which is why the ticket prices were why the attendance was quite so far down. Knowles might not be too happy with that lap. He's done a 33-1 there. He is still in the cusp of the drop zone there. He's very close to the drop zone now. New Life is in the drop zone as well, but he's just going to go again. T Sammy is chilling in the pits at the moment, but he'll be out very soon. I have no doubt about that. Lucas is on the lap. We've also got Blas about to start his run. Stan then is coming through. I think he's invalidated a couple of times. So he's gone very wide in 19 now. Remember, the corner cutting track extension on this track can be brutal, as you touched on earlier, Dave. But Stan doesn't care. He's gone second fastest, and somehow he squeezed himself in between Navy and Jacob.
Look at the gaps. The first 5 separated by 1/10 of a second. Both Red Bulls in the mix. Stan, who was robbed of his first win in Russia from the fellow Greekman Flying Soz, down to penalties. My word, this will make Vanquish and Deneen very nervous. They don't want this. They want a straight fight at the front. They don't want anybody else interfering and involved, especially with just a narrow 2-point gap. And this is not ideal for them at all. This is super close.
It's good for us, though, isn't it? Because of course, the further down the further down the field they go, is we got a drag race of the opposite nature between Knowlesy and Blas coming down the back straight, and that's probably the slowest drag race you're going to see in this event. Yeah, it's brilliant from us. Because remember, the lower down in the top 10 you go, the less points you get, the more the points are closer. So that's going to be that's good for us. I'd love to have the championship. If this is the final round today, which I would love the championship to go on forever, but of course we have to have a winner, don't we, eventually? If this is the final round today, this would absolutely be set up beautifully, was it? A 2-point gap there, all or nothing. And it is kind of all or nothing now, isn't it? Because you're in the last saloon now, aren't you, so to speak, with only 78 points left up for grabs there. That is not many points at all. But of course, then if a DNF at this stage would be absolutely horrific, wouldn't it, for your championship chances?
Blas struggling. Another invalidated lap for Blas. 2.5 minutes. He's got to nail this lap, or the Slovenians heading out of qualifying. Yeah, any retirement, any mistake in these races, last 3 races now from Vanquish or Neen, have big championship implications with the gap so small. Neither of them can afford to put a foot wrong. Neither of them can afford to be in fights of losing front wings, which I don't need to be in. As Blas has gone,
he's having a bit of lag on my screen, isn't he? I'm not sure.
Weather's not good enough. Knowlesy's done then, and that's not going to be enough. This track will ramp up. This track Evo is quite high around here, so that's not going to be enough for Knowlesy, I fear. Ozone will start last, of course. Blas has left the session. I wonder if he's going to sort his connection out. So, Lucas, T Sammy, and New Life, the 3 Greek drivers on the cusp. Not that bad, and Jamie down there, but the times are only at 7/10 off the lead, but yet right on the drop zone. So this is going to get fast and frantic as New Life, T Sammy, Lucas, all out there. Not that bad. Even BP's out there. So the bottom 10, the bottom 9 are all out there. They don't feel safe. This is going to be a mistake by Flying Soz and Dan Murphy. Are they comfortable? We're about to find out now.
You would think that if BP don't feel comfortable, then I would. If I was Flying Soz and Murphy, I would actually be trying to get out there right now. And look at this. This is a beautiful shot here. We're on board T Sammy now, going through the S's. It's incredible how well these guys attack these S's. Of course, T Sammy going to Super next season, isn't he? I got to say, he's gonna be a formidable force next season in Super, because I think that this season he's done a wonderful job, hasn't he? Brilliant drive in France there. He is Mr. Clean, isn't he? In France. France, I think it was live when he crossed the line, but then he fifth, didn't he? It was impressive stuff as well, and last week as well.
If he hadn't have collided with Lucas in the last couple of corners and lost himself a handful of time, he would have won that race. That would have been one of the most incredible victories in IRC, but he is super consistent. Not the best qualifier, T Sammy. Finds himself firmly in the midfield. But racecraft-wise, he absolutely gets it right when he has to. And he has scored a good haul of points this season from good, clean, consistent racing as BP locks up into the hairpin. That's going to cost him valuable time.
Dare I
place.
Dare I say, do you reckon T Summit's very similar to Physico from Super as well? Because Physico's not a very good, qualifying is probably not his strongest suit, but T Summit goes 6 fast, an incredible time there from the Williams driver.
I take it all back. What a lap by T Sammy. Yep. 2 tenths off the front as Lennon's binned it. Or has he? No, I think he's done. I think he's done, yeah.
I think he has been, hasn't he? Because he's dropped down to 15th with a 32.6 there.
Oh, he has binned it. BP does improve by the slightest of margins just behind his McLaren teammate. So Lennon's done. So what about New Life and Lucas? Blaz done as well. So
sorry to interrupt you, Dave, because Jamie is not improved. He has finished his time and he's in a precarious position. He's only done a 32.7 there. We got Not That Bad out there. We've also got New Life in Lucas out there as well. Jamie might be feeling a bit hot and bothered. If my math is correct, actually, he should be alright, shouldn't he? Hang on. I think he should be.
Jamie's fine. Jamie's fine. But Lucas about to finish his lap. I'm not sure where New Life is. New Life's just behind Lucas, in fact. So the 2 Greek drivers now, not that bad on the cusp as well. I cannot get my head around how this guy is so mighty in the Super, yet in the Elite League he has not taken to it as well as RU Racing has at the moment.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Do you reckon that's the mental side of racing, where he's just trying, maybe he's overdriving the car perhaps, or do you just feel that I don't know, Wednesdays is a bit of a busier day for Not That Bad? Maybe he's had a big OT or something.
Lucas,
wow!
Look at this. What a time! And New Life, just missed out. The whole grid separated by 1.2 seconds. That's one of the closest qualifying sessions we have had this season. Unbelievable.
Squeaky bum time for Not That Bad, and he's not through. That's incredible. The super leader is out of Q1. That is astonishing stuff for Not That Bad. Not That Bad in the Super. I think he's only had 1 or 2 pole positions, but so his qualifying is not his strongest suit. But my goodness me, I didn't expect the man who has been so dominant in Super this season to be out of Q1 in the first hurdle. Shocking from here at Kotas. So unfortunately we have lost New Life. Not That Bad. Knowles, of course, he is the Super champion as well, and Blaz, who was the Super runner-up last season. When remember, all those guys are fantastic drivers. Incredible stuff. Well, that's Q1 done and dusted. Dave, my goodness me, that track was fast.
Q1's usually a practice for these boys, but a lot of them had to get on it. I can't get over. Half a second separate the top 11. Not that bad. The big shock down there. New Life nearly got himself through. Track Evo really ramped up towards the end there. Really helped out T Sammy Lucas. New Life just unfortunately missing out. But Lennon says he couldn't start his final fly because he cut the corner going into his final lap, which would have invalidated that and the next lap. But the stars of the show, Lucas, T Sammy, Dan Murphy did a very good lap. This is going to be a tough one to call again, Sean. I'm not sure.
It is indeed. And talking of Dan Murphy, he only done 1 lap, I think, and he's done a 32.3 straight off the bat. So yeah, maybe Murphy might be the one that might be a shot contender for a pole position. Of course, in Q3, remember, we do not decide the grid order for the top 10 until we get into Q3. We've got to do Q2 first, which is ordering from 11th to 14th. Unfortunately, because of Lennon crashing the car, he will not take part in Q2, I don't believe, which is a big shame. So we've lost 5 cars in the first qualifying session. So that's a major blow for Lennon there. And
so we're going to lose 4 in this next session, and pick these 4 names out of a hat, because this is going to be incredibly close. Not only that, what tyres are they going to go on? Of course, whatever tyres they choose to start on in this session, they will start the race with. And I am curious to see what people go on here.
Yeah, that's a very interesting dynamic, isn't it? As we're just waiting for the session to start its countdown here, so hopefully we'll get into it in just a few moments. As Lennon said, I set a fast lap and Jamie, yet I'm behind him. Oh yeah, I crashed. So yeah, sorry about that, Lennon. I think he might be ruined that decision to crash there, because he possibly would have made it through. Yeah, he would have made it through, wouldn't he? So that might have been a mistake there from Lennon, unfortunately. But how difficult is this?
He would have made it through by 0.0. He would have made it by the slenderest of margins. Oh, right, because I think Ozone's joined mid-session, and we've got a problem with the lobby, dare I say.
Well, that's not good news at all. Going back to Lennon now, yeah, because hindsight is a wonderful thing, isn't it? So Lennon wouldn't have known that. So I was being a bit harsh on my hindsight there, of course. But that's how tight the margins are, isn't it? Really, and but it's such a shame for Lennon now because it would be great to see him in Q2. We've also got Deneen saying, "I'm going on mediums." If you're wondering. Oh yeah, this is Deneen. It is indeed. I gotta say, I was actually quite proud there because before Deneen commented there, I actually remembered it was Deneen from the last couple of streams. So yeah, it's hopefully I think the session has froze, which to be honest is a bit like me earlier on today. My goodness me, it's getting a bit nippy out there now. You can tell Christmas is coming, can't you? I can't believe it's gonna be December in a couple of days' time. Goodness gracious me, I need to start me Christmas shopping, which to be honest, this time last year I was really on the ball. This year, nowhere near. Look at the gap between the first 5, just under a tenth of a second now. That's incredible. 2600 a second separates Navy and Stam. 5200 a second separates Navy and Jacob. 6200 a second separates Navy and Deneen. That is incredible. And 9600 a second separates Navy and Yor. That is mighty close. I gotta say that is less than a whisker. So if you put a cat's whisker in between them, that is literally how the distance between those guys are. That's incredible stuff. As we've just got to Deneen saying, not that bad, and Vanquish keep loading at the moment. So hopefully we can get something going in just a few moments time. We don't want to lose that not that bad or Vanquish from this session, but unfortunately
we certainly don't. It might have to be a short qualifying jobby here. I've got a horrible feeling because I think we're good old Codemasters. Or they could leave and rejoin. This is not ideal. This is not what we didn't want.
No, not really.
Because I think because Ozone joined halfway through the session, which we told drivers not to join before. Oh, hang on, I've got a countdown.
So far, I think it's Blast is left.
I think we're off. I think we're off. I've got a countdown of 10 seconds.
I think Blast just wanted to make it a bit more epic, didn't he? By delaying Q2, because this is going to be epic indeed. Hopefully Blast can get that sorted out for the race, because we want to see Blast racing proper good and hard here in this circuit, because of course Blast is a proper racer, so hopefully he can get himself sorted. I assume that was it, because I seen Blast leave and the session started to count down. As we got Deneen saying the only thing you can do is a leave or restart.
We're underway. Blaz struggles this where he's in probably one of the wettest countries in the world this time of year. His connection really struggles being in Slovenia. Well, let's hope it doesn't affect the race, but yeah, we need to evaluate that because the drivers are told they can't race. They can't join the session mid-qualifying because it bugs up the whole qualifying like we just saw, and I think Ozone did, so... Well, yeah. Here we go then. Better late than never. Blaz was out in Q1 anyway. But thankfully, we've got some action.
We have indeed. Of course, Murphy is the first man out of the pits in the Haas, so Murphy kind of like a hometown hero today, isn't he? As of course, Haas is from America. And we're on board with Murphy right now, and I've got to say that the time in Q1 was pretty impressive, considering he did that about halfway through Q1 when the track evolution is going to be quite a steep curve from now until Q3. So, and I've got to say, doing 131s already in Q1 has just blown my mind. It really has. It's just phenomenal pace from these guys.
No, I'm interested to see the time difference between the mediums and the softs, because Deneen's already stated that he's going to go on the medium tyres. Now, if other drivers decide to put the softs on, Deneen could be in trouble, because I think there is quite a bit of a difference between the soft tyres and medium tyres. If Deneen messes up that lap on the mediums, then he really is gonna be in a bit of pain. I wonder who wants to be a hero, who wants to get themselves in Q3. The likes of T, Sammy, Jamie needs to get in that Q3. He's out there in hards. No one out there on softs. Yes, they are. Dan Murphy's out there on softs straight away. Lucas out on softs. So is Jacob. So is Flying Soz. So is Dan Murphy. So if he's got ideas of getting through on the mediums, it may not be a good one. He could be playing himself into a bit of trouble.
Yeah, that's going to be a super lap if he can get through on the medium tyres. People just butted on the softs and going for it. This is unusual, isn't it? Usually there's a bit of gamesmanship going on with, well, Jamie is certainly having a go at the old games, isn't he, with going on the hard tyres. I mean, if he gets through on the hard tyres, then that's going to be an absolutely extraordinary lap, maybe lap of the season. As we're just watching Murphy there coming out of turn 1. It's such a steep climb up there, isn't it? Then as you drop off and going into the S's now, yellow flags in 3. I think it's just the guys queuing up as they want a bit of space, don't they? They want a good clean lap. They don't want to have any dirty air washing off the front wing of their of these cars. The front wings are simpler this year, but it doesn't seem to make much of a difference, does it? As Murphy there giving it a lot of welly out of turn 9 there, but keeping it well within track limits, which is a lot of things that, well, the F1 drivers didn't do that today, and Vettel unfortunately found out to his cost, didn't he? As he looked like he was riding the Red Bull, didn't he, coming out of turn 9 now? As Murphy coming down the back straight then. And yeah, that sun is proper right in the driver's line of vision there, especially breaking down into turn 11 there.
Yeah, right down the hairpin in the last corner, subboard flying sods. That looks horrible. That's going to get worse as the session goes on as well. So that's going to affect their braking points. And but most of sector 3, the sun is right in their eyes. Of course, literally qualifying is done at sunset around here, and that could play a bit of effect in the race as well. But that's nasty. Not liking that. I'm not looking forward to that tomorrow in qualifying. Yeah. Except for that last corner with flying sods. Yeah, that is right in your eyes, shining off the curbs. Love the realism. That's not nice to drive in, though.
As a Murphy's abandoning his lap, Flying Sods comes across the line and done a 31.9 there for Flying Sods. Good lap there from the Greek driver. Just watching Danini's come through the final sector as well. How would you prepare about the sun then? Because a lot of drivers then.
Sorry, Danini got the rear stepped out completely as he was heading into his braking zone. How do you prepare for it? You've got to try and ignore it, really. It's when you're so focused and when you know your braking points, you know your steering lines, you sort of, as Denise backed right off, so he's going to have to go again. This is exactly what I was saying. Medium tyres, you've got to get this lap right. He's going again, but you don't really notice it. We're noticing it because we're not driving. We've got, the sun's in our eyes. These guys are so focused on their racing line and the braking points that won't really affect them too much until it literally is.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Dave. Jacob there is finding himself pointing the wrong way. I think that's sector 3. That's in between turn 16, 17 and 18, around that area.
Well, that's exactly where Deneen made a big mistake as well. So maybe the sun is affecting him. That's a tricky downhill, tight left-hander. It's sort of, the braking point is while you're turning in. It's a bit like the Bahrain, where you go through one left-hander and straight into a hairpin. Very, very similar as Jacob pits.
He's damaged his wing, hasn't he? By the looks.
Easily done. We'll see more of that. I expect in the race as well. If you get on the gas too early as well, it's very off camber. Get on the gas too early, light up the rear as you're going round. It's a tricky little corner. It's caught Deneen and Jacob out.
I got to say that turn, I think it's turn 9 and 10 in Bahrain, isn't it? I got to say that's probably right. one of the harder turns, isn't it? I think on the Formula 1 calendar, because especially when you're like a noob like myself, and trying to get on the power, and I always used to spin it when you was getting rid of the traction control. And I think that's a very underestimated turn there, and you're exactly right. It's almost a carbon copy, isn't it? Is this great track does try and take a couple of the signature corners of a couple of tracks, as we mentioned Istanbul here. We've also mentioned the Japanese S's as well in the first couple of corners here in Kota. So it's a very difficult corner to get right. It's a very unusual part of the track, isn't it? It's very wide, and it can catch you out if you're not on it. As though just watching yours, he's coming through that section now. You can see, look at that, a snap of oversteer there, and my goodness me, he's having a good well over time there. I think he's been on the WRC, hadn't he? He was getting on the power there. But I think that yours.
He's on a 33.1. That is nowhere near the soft shod tyre cars. He's going to be, depending on who else goes in the medium, hards and soft, as your goes second. Yeah, that was a scrappy lap as well, but it still goes ahead of Deneen. Deneen may, well, he'll be having his fingers crossed, although RU Racing, so the mediums are way off the softs. Bigger gap than I thought there was. Here comes Lucas. He's starting to fly now, sorry. But yeah, the gap's a lot bigger than I thought, so Deneen will be keeping his fingers crossed. The Stam goes out on the softs. Lucas now doing a lap on the softs. Jacob back out on the softs. interesting. I wonder what Vanquish will do as well.
And talking of Vanquish, here's his teammate Chris Powder and a 33-0. These are, yeah, you're right, Dave.
Deneen as well.
These times as Vanquish is out on the medium tire at the moment, but he's out more of a chilled lap. I think we're just on board BP, with a BP, and I tell you, that's a lovely shot of the rear suspension, and that is an absolutely cracking shot there from the McLaren there. Car 19 as he breaks into the hairpin at turn 11 then, and I think he's on an in lap here, or he's about to start a hot lap now, because you can see his ERS is all switched off as he's getting himself prepared and ready to go then. We'll keep an eye on BP's performance in just a little while when he's back on it. Just watching Navy now. Of course, car 21 in the Haas. He's coming around the final turn now. He's also on the medium tire, and that's the best medium tire time. But once again, look at the gap. 0.8 of a second separates himself in flying saws. That is a mighty gap. I think that they would be quite surprised at the gaps between the soft and the medium there. Really surprising indeed. Stam's on that lap on a quick lap at the moment. Lucas is also on the lap as well. He's got a bit of traffic in front of him. It's Murphy in front, so can Murphy get out of the way then? Lucas, he does get out of the way. Beautifully done there. Svan's also in front of him as well, but he should be just in front there. Is that affected Lucas this time? And he goes second fastest on a 32.5. On the soft tire there from Lucas, so he's thrown himself right in the mix as well. This is very interesting for strategy, I've got to say. It's all over the show, and that's what we like to see. Here comes Jacob. He is the fastest man in Sector 1 in the world, isn't he? And let's go on board with him and enjoy. Look at how well he steers through those S's. That is incredible, isn't it? So direct. That is precision at the absolute best there. I got to admit, I enjoyed that. I'm glad we're streaming this. I'm going to be watching that back later. That was beautiful. I even had an adrenaline rush when he went through those S's. Beautiful stuff there as he's coming down. Anyway, he's just completed sector 1 then. He's gone a bit wide there, but into turn 10, but that's alright. And I gotta say, that sun is really distracting mine. I'm glad I'm not racing in this, but it'd be interesting to see, because you said earlier, Dave, that you don't think that it'd be distracting the drivers too much. So I think someone's just jumped up. I think Stam's just jumped up to second there in the Red Bull.
Yeah, Stam's second on softs. Dutch Dave may be the only driver to really get through on the medium tyres, which would Jacob makes that slightly affecting him down there. We've seen Jacob spin already on that corner. He did it again. But as you said, Jacob looked through those S's was just an absolute joy to watch, wasn't it?
It really was. It's a shame we didn't catch him just before going to the S's there, because that was absolutely stunning. Must admit, I enjoyed that. Maybe a little too much, to be honest. My fanboy came out of me then. But Jacob, then is he looks like he's abandoned that lap.
That was invalidated.
Oh yeah, never mind then. I've got to say,
all that. It's all good and well looking good, but you can't set a clean valid lap. It all means nothing, unfortunately. BP in 8th place, 3 laps on his medium tyres. He's going to have to go again on another compound if he wants to get through. And my graphic for Deneen just changed to fitted soft tyres. He was confident on getting through the mediums. It's been a long time since we saw the elite guys all starting on the softer compounded tyres. It could happen today.
I gotta say, I'm looking forward to this. This is gonna be good, isn't it? Vanquish has had an adventure somewhere. He's damaged the right end plate on his Ferrari there, so he's gonna have to come back in. I'm wondering if he's just gonna throw on a set of softs and go for it. Jacob is still out there at the moment on the soft tyres. He ain't really going anywhere at the moment, Jacob, isn't it? So he's putting himself under a bit of pressure as Murphy there is on the soft tyres on the back straight now, and he is not on the lap either. So yeah, it's a bit of a low at this session at the moment. We're just watching BP at the moment. And I'm wondering if he's going to come in and throw on a set of soft tyres then for the.
Yeah, he's going to have to. Another thing with Jacob is these soft tyres will wear out quick. They're quick. The initial rubber they get straight out the blankets is good, but Jacob's done one fine lap already on those softs and it was invalidated. He's wearing his tyres. He's going to start the race on. If I was Jacob, I'd be half tempted to pit and put a fresh set on. Because you don't want to start on worn tyres. You want that initial extra grip, but we're going to see a flurry in the next 3.5 minutes, that's for sure. And I think everybody is going to go for it. The people that want that top 10 are going to go out. And as I say, that T-Sammy and IE Racing out laps on soft tyres. Everybody's so unrare. This is so unusual for the Elite League, but everyone's going for it.
This is very interesting indeed. And Jacob staying out on the soft tyres, as you said, Dave, he's going to have a disadvantage in the race, isn't he? That's not going to help him at all. Remember in qualifying, and I'm not sure if he invalidated that time again. Then he was very close.
He did, yeah.
Oh, this is not good at all for Jacob.
This could be a shock. Jacob could be out in Q2 would be a huge shock. I had him down for pole position. So that would be a massive surprise. He cannot hook the lap up at the moment, and he's burning through a set of soft tyres. He'll have to start the race on. He's going to have to scamper in. This lap he's on now will be a flyer, but surely an in lap. And then bolt on some softs and go back out again. Big pressure for the young Englishman at the moment. But look at the top three: Greek 1, 2, 3, Dutch 4, Greek 5, Italian 6, Irish 7, BP. Dan Murphy is our highest placed Brit, up there in ninth place. In fact, there's only 2 Brits in the top 13.
I got to say that that sector 1 is really causing some awful issues, isn't it? As we just watched Nari racing, who's also invalidated his time as well, and it's just cruised to a halt then. So we're going to watch T Sammy then, as he is now on track, and he is going to have an attack of lap here. 2 minutes to go in this session. My goodness me, this has flown by, isn't it? We've got to lose 4 cars in this session, so we're... Whoa! That's not good, is it?
Yeah, that's blown it. That's blown his whole lap. He ain't getting through now. Jamie's in front of him, but Jamie and Vanquish going out on medium tyres. Do they believe that the track evolution can get them through? Whereas Deneen is still in the pits, so he's leaving it very, very last minute. Yeah, T Sammy's given up on his lap. It's a long lap. You ruin it early on, you give up and go again. But I think that's why there's such a big gap between the 2 compounded tyres, because it is a longer lap. The soft tyres give you that initial grip for longer. But they're going to be coming in after 7-8 laps in the race, if that. A lot of traffic out there right now.
There is. There's almost everyone's out there apart from 3 drivers. This is Murphy, who's in the pits, and he's in the perilous position. My goodness. Yeah, that's done and dusted for Murphy. Stam and Flying Sods then are just enjoying themselves, just watching the stream, we hope. And look at all that traffic that Jacob's got to deal with as he's coming down into turn 11 now. My goodness me, he's done 3 laps on these soft tyres. That is not good at all. And that's going to come in bite him on the behind, I think, in the race later on. But who do I know? What do I know? So, this is not good, ideal for Jacob at all. He can't come in the back in the pits now. He's only got 46 seconds to go. He has to complete this time. Can he complete this time? Is it good enough? As we're going to be on board with Jacob then, as he's coming into the final section now. He's in turn 19. There's T Sammy in front of us. T Sammy there, is he? Oh no!
And he's going on a flyer. Of course, T Sammy's warming up for a flyer. Oh, it's Jacob.
Oh, he still goes fastest.
I got fastest. 5 when he comes into the pits. Jacob. Oh, yeah. That's a big disadvantage. That's nearly a first stint.
Well, it is. I think that I hate to say it, but as Jacob's retired from the session, then I think that might be a huge strategical error there for Jacob. Well, Vanquish. He's only 9 for Vanquish. Oh dear.
And he had traffic. He had the Williams ahead of him. Oh, Deneen ahead of him, blocking him in the end of the lap. Jamie also on the medium tyres. Vanquish, I got a feeling Vanquish is going to be gone. Second place in the championship, 2 points behind Deneen. I don't think that's going to be enough. I think Vanquish is going to be out in Q2. Jamie could follow.
That's incredible, isn't it? Just watching Jordan as he flies through turn 19. No, well, that's a lot of curve, isn't it, for Yor? Let's see what he does then as he comes across the line now. What is Yor doing? He goes up into first. Wow, done from Yor. 35. Oh, that's an incredible time.
Racing jumps to 5th as well, so he's put himself through it. Everybody, who are we going to lose? We've got sort of 6 drivers out there on a flyer. Time is up. I don't think Jamie's going to do it on the mediums. Vanquish done. Who's just jumped him? I think Crazy Powers just jumped up there. Here comes Jamie. Oh, 10th.
Jamie.
What about BP?
Lucas goes stays 6th then. We've got Navy just come through as well. Crazy Powers on the lap. We've got Deneen on the lap there as well. Jamie is done then. Jamie is finished. What about BP then? BP coming through the final turn now. He's 9/10 for a second up. That is good enough. Can he make up the... He's done it. He's up in the second position. Good time there from BP.
Oh, boy.
And Deneen there is still there, and I think Crazy Power just jumped up to 2nd position. Good time there from Crazy Power. What about Deneen then? Deneen, I think, is fairly up in this up, and he cruises to the finish line then. So he doesn't have to start on a soft tyre then. So good stuff there from Deneen. So he might have got what he wanted after all then, the Irishman. But I gotta say, huge surprise there to see Vanquish out there. Incredible stuff. Do you think that was a strategical error there from Vanquish there to try and stay on the mediums?
Yeah, well, absolutely. You do what your rival's doing. Deneen, wow. So 2 temps in the end. Dan Murphy didn't go back out. T Sammy messed up his final run. Dutch Dave, TG Navy will also start the medium tyre. So Deneen and Dutch Dave will both be starting on the medium tyre. That's going to be fascinating, the opening laps. They could get swamped with that massive time difference. Cracking laps by your Crazy Power and BP. And to be fair, Jacob with 4 laps old tyres as well.
I was just going to say that lap from Jacob on 4 lap old soft tyres, that just shows his pace, but yeah, he just couldn't get it together for the first 3, could he? Perhaps he did have enough time to come back in the pits. Perhaps that might have been a strategic error in there as well. We got a couple of comments in as the BP army is out there. Great stuff to see, and we've also got Harry there saying Dan choosing strategy rather than starting position there. So I wonder if that's going to pay dividends later on in the race as well.
You can overtake around here. Plenty of overtaking news. Down to turn 1 is a big one. The long back straight. There's also going into turn 2 and 3 if you're feeling daring enough. But yeah, Dan Murphy is the one to watch out for as well. He had the pace, as we saw, as Rick Hillman says, BP Army, and BP did a stunning time. I do not know who I'm going to pick for pole position this session. It could be any one of these 10 drivers.
It is. I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to this as well. Of course, Jacob there does look like he's the fastest, but he's starting to string a lap together, isn't he, as we sit in Q2. And so Jacob is the first man on the track as well. Then we've got 4 drivers out so far, and I tell you what, as Dave said, this is very tough to call, isn't it? It's brilliant stuff as well. I got to say, we'd love to hear what's going on in the who do you think's going to get pole position in the comments? Then
yeah, well, BP, obviously the BP fans are already saying P1 for BP, come on BP. If I had to stick my neck on the line, I'd say if Jacob hooks it up, Jacob, I think, will be pole position. I tell you what, it'll be TDG Navy, the Dutch may get 1 pole position man here, and it could be TDG Navy or Jacob. They're the 2 I'm tipping.
And to be honest, that's a very tough call, isn't it, really? Because it could be any one of them. It's such a close shave, isn't it? As Deneen is now taking over the lead of the train. Then look at them all; they're all going to have to back up here because they're all together. Of course, this track, I think, is 3.4 miles long, and they've somehow found themselves on the same bit of tarmac. Typical, isn't it, really? So now then, Deneen then is going to be the first man to come across the line then, and he's starting on the medium tyres later on, isn't he? So he has got what he wanted. He thinks he's on the prime strategy, but we'll find out later on because he's going to might be swamped, as you said, Dave, in the pack, because those tyres are going to take a while to fire up, aren't they? I think Deneen's already fired up now as he comes across the line. Let's go on board with Deneen then, the man who's leading the championship by 2 points, which is incredibly close, isn't it? That's a 9th place finish, only a 9th place finish. It's incredibly close. You got to say, as Deneen now coming into the S now, this is a brilliant part of the track, isn't it? Look at this then. Oh, silky smooth there, and very close there. That is incredible. It's all about inches, this game is, isn't it? And Deneen has certainly got his accuracy right on the money here tonight. Brilliant indeed then, coming over turn 9 then, and not running too wide then. He doesn't want to go on the grass then, and that is sector 1, done and dusted. A fantastic sector, it really is. Second sector is all about power and straight line speed, isn't it? Because with this long straight then, and you can see that it undulates.
Straight, Sean, it's so fascinating to see how, like Suzuka with the S sections, so many drivers have their own way of doing it, their own gear, what gear they drop down to for certain corners and certain different lines. It's fantastic to watch. Deneen and Jacob are 2 totally different styles, yet very much identical times.
It is, isn't it? And Deneen looks a lot more calm, doesn't he, in the car? Was Jacob? I feel Jacob. I get a bit of an adrenaline rush when I watch Jacob go for the S's there, because it feels a bit more attacking, a bit more fast. But they have near enough exactly the same times, don't they? It's fantastic to watch. So, and then you said it's all about driving style, isn't it? Very similar to like Button, of course. Button, Mr. Smooth, Hamilton, very well. He used to be much more attacking in his earlier days, didn't he, with McLaren? But yeah, it's very similar to that. Deneen then coming across the line then, turn 20, and he does a 31.8 then for the Rocket Williams, and he was rocketing around there.
That would probably be beaten. IU Racing's abandoned. I'm going to shout out to IU Racing. Another fantastic effort, another top 10 for him. The race went a bit adrift for him in Mexico, as there goes Jacob. Wow, 31
Oh my goodness me! What was that?
Lucas great time.
That's thrown the gauntlet down, hasn't it? My goodness me. Just watching your end come through the turn 19 and 20 now. And, well, you did say it was going to be beaten, Dave, but my goodness me, did you expect it by that margin? That is incredible. Oh, yours gone completely wide out of turn 20.
Validated as well.
That is, isn't it?
That's annoying. You do your whole lap, you're nailing it as the best you can, and the final corner is flying sods does a 31.7, but Jacob nearly in the 1 minute 30. That's incredible. But don't forget, he will start on very old soft tyres. So, yours racing to get back. Where is BP? BP finishing his lap.
And Mickey just said, BP is my god. He goes around the front.
Mr. Benito Perez is worshipped in Breda.
He goes fastest at the moment.
Yeah, times are so close between Flying Soz and Crazy Power. Behind Jacob. Jacob checked out and gone out front, but between everybody else, it is pretty damn close. Small margins.
It's really looking good, isn't it? I got to say, though, I would actually line up the grid near enough exactly like that anyway, because remember, Jacob has got old tyres, hasn't he? He's done 4 laps on those soft tyres at qualifying speeds as well. So, yeah, those tyres have taken a bit of a punishment, and he's not going to be liking those in the first couple of laps of the race.
Here comes Dutch Dave. Now, this is my other, although Jacob's time might not be beaten, but Dutch Dave could very much join him on the front row.
And here he comes around turn 19 then, coming into turn 20 as well then. And let's see where he's going to, where is he in the ballpark? Oh, a bit skirmish there, but he's fastest pole position. Brilliant time then.
Wow, 0.005 of a second. How's that even possible? What the hell is even that? Like, how do you even measure that? What a time by Dutch Dave. Well, I'm glad I called the top 2 right, but that close? That is incredible. Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what, he looks to come back with a bang, don't he? That is an incredible time there from Navy Dave. That is brilliant indeed. And I'll tell you what, the Haas driver is looking smooth as silk at the moment, isn't he? Brilliant stuff indeed there from Dutch Dave. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do. I think that it's not ideal for the championship rivals, is it? The likes of Deneen and Vanquish. Of course, Deneen there with Vanquish out of qualifying. Deneen would like to be up as high as he can, but at the moment,
Deneen starts on mediums as well, and he does not want to be in that mix. Lucas having a very good qualifying session for him. Stan's about to start his out or his flyer. Are You Racing going again start his flyer? Who else can join these top 2? I did not expect a qualifying duel like this to be this close. This is set up beautifully right now. It could be last car. The track evolution could be last car over the line. The best of the track could be on pole position.
Oh, this is going to be fantastic, isn't it? Are You Racing then? I'd say he's took to Elite like a duck to water, and he's coming through turn 9 then. You can see taking a lot of track there, but he's looking good still. He's turned the ERS down then. There's a lot of ERS management I noticed going on, Dave. Is it because of the track and the way it's laid out? Is it because it's a bit of a ERS burner? This one is
long straight. There's no big braking points except for turn 1 and this one as well. The ERS charges quickly with big braking points as we're watching Are You Racing having on the hairpin. That's your last big braking point. The rest of it is either the first sector's all S's, no really big stops except turn 1, middle sectors just straight. And this is not really a heavy braking either. So it is heavy, very ERS heavy. A lot of acceleration zones.
And that's just another added dynamic to the race, which will be getting underway in just a few moments' time. Of course, the main event tonight, isn't it? And my goodness me, there's an interesting comment that's coming from Lennon, which we're going to read out in just a few seconds. Yeah. And Are You Racing now? Look at that, almost striding the curb there. He's 7 fast moment. I wonder if there's a bit more time in that Alpha Romeo from Are You Racing, because I felt he might have lost a bit of time there.
Yeah, his rear was squirming horribly. 5th, Lucas 6 BP. Are You Racing 7th, separated by just less than a tenth of a second. And Stam puts himself in a 3rd, tenth of a second adrift. Well, Stam's put his name into the ring as well. That's this is set up for a beautiful climax. Is Jacob already out there starting his flyer right now? Is he going to have 2 runs at this?
Well, that's an interesting tactic here from Jacob. I'm wondering if it's a bit of the Q2 where he had a couple of stabs at the couple of bites of the cherry, didn't he, in Q2, where he kept invalidating his time. So I'm wondering if he's just trying to give himself an error for margin, which I would say is pretty smart. He might not have the best track conditions.
He backed off, Sean.
Oh.
So he's going to go. I think he invalidated. Interesting. Jacob chooses the higher gears through that S sequence where we're watching Deneen earlier. He goes a lot lower down the gears. Again, different preference. Deneen on the comments in YouTube has joined the BP army as well. As the BP army on comments recruited fans. So Jacob will go again. Stam's coming into the pit. He's going to have a very small window to get back out there. Are you racing? I think he's on in-lap as well. So now we've got a calm before the storm. And we're going to have 2.5 minutes or 2 minutes of absolute mayhem as Crazy Power and You're now both out on track as well. Crazy Power is having a good session. I feel he's got a lot more time in him as well. He's a little Italian.
Of course, the Crazy Power, I would say, would be a candidate for most improved this season. He was a midfield runner last season. I think this season he showed flashes of brilliance, didn't he? Qualifying in Russia was fantastic. He had a great race in Australia. I remember coming to that race, and I tell you what, the form book was completely turned on its head. Of course, apart from Vanquish, who just seems to always be there or thereabouts. But BP, I'm also a part of the BP army now as well. Crazy Power just rocked up and was second. It was an incredible race.
Yeah, should have won that race as well. Vanquish stole that. Well, actually, it was a masterful drive. Some fantastic. Vanquish's best races actually won him that. But Crazy Power got 3 podiums in the first 4 races. 2 of those races he should have won as well. He sort of tailed off towards the mid-season, but Jacob's just messed up his run again. That's it for Jacob. Jacob will not be on pole position. He is done. So it's that Are You Racing is done, and it is Stam. So we've got 7 runners who are going to fight for that pole position. Stam's going out now. It's too late for Stam.
Wow.
So Jacob is done.
Well, that's a shock, isn't it? Of course, the man's been on pole position 7 times this season. Of course, he's like a very similar, like Jonathan Cox of the Elite League, isn't he, Jacob? Both those guys are phenomenal qualifiers, aren't they? But as we've said earlier, about racecraft might need to be worked on a bit.
Traffic's horrendous. The 2 McLarens are stacked. Flying Souls nearly hit the back of BP. BP got to get a move on as well. Both putting up their ERS and their battery ready for this run and their fuel. And Flying Souls got caught out by BP. Here we go. This is going to be a frantic final lap.
And then we're watching Crazy Power's 3 tenths of a second up as he complete the first sector then. And now he's on the long back straight then. Car 14.
Jacob might make it, by the way. I'll let you know. Jacob might make it with a second to go. I'll keep you posted.
Also, we might have counted our chickens before they've hatched there. Is that Lucas is done, unfortunately. But I think, so that's a shame there for Lucas there. The best he'll start 6. A massive rocket there from Crazy Power.
With 6 seconds to go. He'll be the last man across the line, Sean.
Oh, by the skin of his teeth there, Jacob. So he's back in the game. Oh, I absolutely love it. Here comes Crazy Power. And it says BP is retired. That's a shame there for BP and all his army. Oh, that's a shame, but don't worry. Points is all about the race, isn't it? Qualifying is just the warm-up to what is going to be a fantastic race. Coming through turn 18 is Crazy Power, looking good, looking very good indeed. Then into turn 19 then, and wow, that is absolutely inch perfect there from Crazy Power. Oh, incredible stuff. He comes through the final turn down. He has a bit of a waggly tail. It doesn't matter. He's 4th fastest. Great lap indeed there. As a Flying Sauce that is just about up, and here comes Jordan. He is 10th for the moment. He hasn't set a time just yet, but what about the Red Bull? What can the Red Bull driver do? Comes through the final turn, and what does he go? He goes 7th fastest at the moment.
Only half a second adrift. Deneen goes third.
Good time there from Deneen. Great time there from Deneen. What about Flying Sauce? He's 400 a second up in the second section there. Accelerating away. He's 4th fastest there. Good time there from Flying Sauce there. Jacob is
incredibly close.
They are indeed. Here comes Davey.
Jacob's up. Jacob is 2 tenths up, so it's going to be a big lap here from Navy. We could be in the 130.
David's gone faster still, but what about Jacob then? So David's currently on pole position at the moment. Last but not least, it's Jacob. He's gone for his 8th pole position of the season. That is incredible stuff. Here he comes then into the final couple of corners now. Turn 19, that is very wide. Do you reckon that's... I'm not sure if that's going to count or not, but he's still on it.
Scrappy last sector, those softs are screaming.
He goes across the line sideways.
I think he's on the same set of softs as what he did his first run on. But Dutch Dave, is that his first ever pole on his return?
I believe that is his first ever pole in Elite. So fantastic stuff from Dutch Dave. He's come back a new man. Impressive stuff indeed there from Dutch Dave. And I got to say, because he was being consistent. Remember his first race, he rocked up in Spain and finished second, didn't he? So
sorry, Sean, just to quickly cut in, the front 3, TGG Navy will start on mediums. Jacob will start on 4-5 lap old soft tyres. Deneen will start on mediums. Flying Swords, Stam and Crazy Power could have a big advantage going into turn 1. This could be a bit of mayhem on the opening couple of laps.
It is indeed. Of course, then we will now be in the race in just a few moments' time. If you want to go get a drink, if you want to go get a snack, and this is the time to do so, because we've got the formation, we got the build-up, and we got the formation lap to come, and then we'll be ready to get racing here in the USA. I did want to read out this comment from Lennon, because I got to say that's a very in-depth analysis there from Lennon. Very impressive indeed. Of course, Jacob never really gets a good start either, so if he ends up behind a couple of guys, he's going to struggle his first stint. And as we did say earlier, Jacob, when he's in the field, he seems to struggle a bit, doesn't he? I think I remember Russia, he made a couple of rash moves, didn't he? So I think that's the one bit of his game he might just need to improve on. But I gotta say, his one lap pace is fantastic. So
weather looks good. Weather looks like we're gonna have a dry race. This is gonna be honestly, the different strategy calls and how that quali went and how close it was. As long as they can keep it clean, which is tough, and these S's on the opening couple of laps, we could be in for an absolute cracker yet again.
I just got to ask something about the first lap going into turn 1 and the S's. How difficult is that first lap? Because in terms of judging and braking up into turn 1, oh, horrible.
That turn 1 is horrible because the problem is it's uphill. You can brake really late. You can take 2-3 different lines into turn 1. You can also go 4-5 abreast into turn 1. You know, it's. Super League last year, we were 4 abreast going into turn 1, and everybody braking at different points. It is probably one of the easiest turns to lose a front wing at the start because everyone's got different braking preferences going into that uphill. For me, I would take the wider line. If I was on the outside of the grid, I would stay there, hug that curb on the hill up there, brake probably later, and try and avoid the cars overspinning on the runoff. But you've got that runoff there. If you're in the middle, you've got nowhere to go, and usually you're sandwiched. You want to be either right on the inside or right on the outside. You do not want to be in the middle. You've got nowhere to go, as we saw in the race this year in F1.
It's a very unusual first corner. It's so wide, you can have all kinds of racing lines. It's absolutely brilliant. We've got 28 laps around this around the Circuit of the America. This is going to be fantastic. 20 drivers are on the grid and ready to get racing as well. Let's quickly go through the grid, shall we? Before they come around into sector 3, we got Navy Dave, first pole position of Elite, and I tell you what, that was an elite lap. Brilliant stuff from Dutch Dave alongside him is Jacob. Of course, he's 7 times on pole position this season, but his thunder has been stolen, hasn't it? And of course he's got a lot of laps on those tyres as well. He's on the soft medium tyres for Deneen as well. The first and third drivers are on the medium tyres. Everyone else on the top 10s on soft. Flying Stars in 4th position. He was flying in qualifying, fantastic. Stam in 5th position with Crazy Power in 6th. We've got Yor in 7th position. A bit of lag going on there. We've got Lucas in 8th position. The 9th position is at BP, and of course his Army will be going wild right now. Then Are You Racing is 10th position. 11th position is Jamie, his the first man to choose his tyres, and he's on the soft. 12th position is Vanquish, also on the soft. Murphy on the soft as well in 13th position. T Sammy in 14th position, the medium compound tyre. Lennon in 15th position. 16th position is New Life with Not That Bad in 17th position, all on the medium compound tyre. Knowlesy is in 18th position. He's on the soft compound tyres. We expect to see him having a good old lunge into turn 1. Blaz in 19th, and Ozone completes the field for what is going to be an incredible American Grand Prix, the US Grand Prix. Lovely shot. Look at that shot going up into turn 1. How steep is that? That is a big old elevation change, isn't it? Similar to Austria, but a bit more extreme, I would say. And I'll tell you what, that is daunting, isn't it? What a shot this is. As we're
Here we go. 3 laps to go. 3 races to go, folks. The championship on the line. This is going to be fun, Sean. Take it away.
It is indeed. Hold on to your hats, everyone. 5 lights are on when we'll be racing in America, and it is go! And a bit of wheel spin going on there. Blaz has been left behind, and there's, oh my goodness me, there's someone who's been left at the start. Stammer's been left at the start. Deneen takes the lead. Jacob is still second for this. There's contact. There's pole steers had a problem. The pole steers had a problem, and Deneen there is still leading at the moment. Then with Jacob alongside him going into the SSN. This is going to get very dicey indeed, isn't it? But Deneen is leading this race. Fantastic start. Up 7 positions. Murphy. My goodness me, there is a car. It's a glitch and all over the show, and there's debris everywhere. Dave, what's going on? That's an appalling start. Not that bad. It's also in the back there. Stam is out of the race, and my goodness me, that was a bit of a messy start there, Dave. Murphy upset.
Absolute carnage at the back. Are You Racing yet again has had problems, but Denis on the medium tyres got the jump.
Oh, and we got a bit of contact again coming down into turn 10, and oh my goodness me, Jacob is going for the lead. He's going for the lead, but not quite. Then as you can see, Deneen has had the perfect start, hasn't he? That is perfect from Deneen then. As Jacob,
free abreast as well. Dan Murphy on Crazy Power and BP.
Goodness me, and Crazy Power just going on the outside. Then Murphy, 7 positions down. 9 is Dave, and now that is a shame. Now for Dave, we've got yellow flag in 2. Then just I think it's Ozone is pushing T Sammy through there. Obviously he needs to hurry up. Oh no, Blazer is stolen that position away from Ozone, but he's damaged the car. There's a lot of damaged cars out there.
What a move by BP. I don't know if you caught it on the outside of those S's around his teammate. BP's up 6, up to 3rd place. He could be on for a podium.
Oh, I tell you what, the fans not going to be happy with me because I missed that as we was watching down the grid. Then it should come for the complete lap 1. Then 3 tenths of a second separates Deneen and Jacob at the moment. Then BP up in the 3rd position. Fantastic stuff from BP, isn't it? Power in 4th position. Murphy 5th with Yor in 6th position. Vanquish 7th. New Life is 8th. Fantastic start from New Life. T Sammy 9th. Not that bad. It's up to 10th position.
Off the field in the pit. Sean Lucas, Lennon, Flying Stars, Navy in the pits and starting on pole. Knowlesy, Jamie's championship surely over, and the old head, the explored BP lost at the championship contender Vanquish up to 7th. BP under some serious pressure.
And yeah, there's a cube behind him, and Crazy Power is going to go on the inside, going down into turn 10, and he is through and back up into the podium. Crazy Power is so a good move there from Crazy Power. Murphy is now the next man, and looking behind, there's a Red Bull and a Ferrari. Vanquish is up into 6th position. Stamina's left the session. That is such a shame there for Stamina. Lovely shot here at the just as a Vanquish there, but I think he's defended. He is defended from Yor. Yor is going to go on the inside. He is going on the inside. He's up the inside track position, and he is up into 6th position. Oh, well, Vanquish is not giving up there, is he? Vanquish has got up. No, he ain't. So, of course, Vanquish is a very wise man, isn't he? Remember, 28 Grand Prix, I think it was, Dave, when he was leading the championship. That is phenomenal numbers. As he is in 7th position at the moment. Look at this, we've got a bit of a queue behind Crazy Power at the moment. Battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Beautiful stuff indeed. Deneen is starting to check out. He's at 1.4 seconds in front of Jacob already. Those tyres are already screaming on Jacob, isn't he?
Tyres are going to start screaming. And Jacob got damage. I just swear, let me try and see a better angle. I think Jamie he's got end plate damage. I'm pretty sure Jacob's hit the back of him. And has got end plate damage. I will need to see. Yeah, he has.
Yes,
Jacob has damage. Wow. By the way, big shout to Ozone. 11th place. Hasn't finished yet. A race. Oh, he's in the pits. Oh, jeez.
He's still got another 25 odd laps to go. So but by the looks of this race is it could be a race of attrition, Dave, couldn't it? As we have all sorts going on. Well, we've only lost one driver so far, but my goodness me, there was a lot of wings gone. BP's gone very wide into turn 10 now, but it seems like the normal racing line in the real world of Formula 1, didn't it?
Yeah, BP's line. He keeps using that line. Jacob could be a sitting duck very soon to Crazy Power BP. Dan Murphy, what an incredible start. And he's started off in the top 10, so he's on a fresher set of softs than all these guys in a lovely position. Vanquish, there's a BP going for it. Ooh,
he is. He's harvesting quite heavily down the back straight, isn't he? So he must have a very slippery McLaren, because that was no electric recovery from BP at all. No errors was being used there. So that's a very slippery McLaren BP has got underneath him then. So watch him down the straights then. It's going to be he might be lightning. As unfortunately his teammate is not Flying Stars isn't lightning at the moment. He's dropped all the way down to 13th after an incredible qualifying performance.
Penalties aren't going to help Jacob's man. This is one of Jacob's biggest problems, is picking up penalties. It's cost him so much this season, and he's got another one already. Deneen, this could be huge for the championship. The Vanquish is warming up with the fastest lap. Shout out to not that bad up there in 10th place. He was 19th and last I checked out on him after lap 1. So with all the pit stops, he has got front wing damage, but not that bad. We'll be happy to be racing on his own, and actually for once in an Elite League race, trying to adapt himself in it. As T Sammy passes New Life.
Oh, T Sammy. Oh, beautiful timing. Dutch Dave it's just set the fast on the race. So T Sammy up into 8th position then. So we're looking forward to seeing him in the Super League next season. But my goodness me, he has, as we said in qualifying, he's done a fantastic year this year, hasn't he? I've been a big fan of T Sammy and his in how he is just so consistent. Very Nico Rosberg-esque, if he doesn't mind me saying so, in terms of being so precise in position. And look at this queue. Look at this queue.
BP. DRS is going to slam open. BP attacking his very good friend, the Crazy Pat. The move's already done. BP is third.
Oh, Murphy's going on the inside. He is up to 4th position as well. Oh, but is he? Because Crazy Power is going to go on the outside, but Murphy has got the line. Or has he? Oh, that's a lock up in a bit. Oh, I thought he was going to the side of there, Dave. I was closing my eyes. Good move, though. Brilliant racing. Brilliant racing. Really was. And that just shows.
They're all catching Jacob short. The problem for BP now is he won't have the DRS next time by unless he can get in Jacob's DRS. But this is going to be fascinating. Dan Murphy yet to have a podium in Elite League racing. BP is rarely on the podium, but charged on by his fans.
Oh, Jacob's had a problem. Sorry, Dave. Jacob, I think got on the power too early, and he kind of half spun it. And now he's under an awful amount of pressure now from the guys behind him. Sorry, carry on, Dave.
No, you're right. Jacob is going to really struggle, especially in the S's. Front wing damage in the S's. High, you need the high downforce. He's got horrible downforce. He could be a sitting duck.
He looks like that. Looks like a sitting duck in front of the Renault, doesn't it, for Jacob? And we're on board with BP. He's the star of the show, hasn't he? Incredible stuff there from BP. Blaz is gone. Blaz is out of the race, unfortunately. So his miserable race today is come to an end. And oh my word, BP is just pushing. Oh my gosh, Jacob went ghostly there.
BP. Wait for the DRS. Wise from BP. Wait for the DRS, otherwise you're going to be a sitting duck.
Vanquish has moved up to 5th position then, so he's got by his teammate. Wow, this is incredible. And again, I love this shot going down the back straight then. Beautiful stuff there from Codemaster in the race director, but he's got to go up the inside. Lovely.
Great move. Oh, well, on the brakes, Jacob, there's no point defending it. BP is in 2nd place. Wow.
It's the power of the BP army, isn't it? They're up there pushing him on to an incredible 2nd position. But yellow flag one because Ozone's out.
Ozone. One day he'll finish.
I just read the sprint said that Ozone was in the race after lap 1. Unfortunately,
yeah, oh, where's Vanquish going? Vanquish halfway to Mexico.
And Murphy.
Dan Murphy is about to be on the podium.
I tell you what, he's had a lightning start, hasn't he, Murphy? He's up to 3rd position. I'm going to be honest, I thought he was going to go on the outside in turn 19 there. I was kind of about to close my eyes because I thought that was going to be a bit of a worry there for Murphy. Vanquish up in the 4th position as well. So Vanquish showing his experience in all the bundles in the world. Brilliant stuff there from the champion. Absolutely fantastic. He's up to 4th, and I think Deneen there would be quite disappointed to see Vanquish in 4th position. He does have a 5.6 second buffer at the moment, but you just can't keep this man down, can you? Vanquish doing a fantastic job. Where's Jacob coming on the pits? He's on the hard compound tire. He is out coming out the pits now. He's in 11th position there behind at Navy. So the guys that was on the front row, 10th and 11th.
Wow, yeah, that's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. Flying Sod and Lucas. This is a very, very fast group of cars right now. These guys are praying for a safety car right now because their race is heavily compromised. They will stop again. Big shout to T Sammy and New Life from the medium tyres. Scrapping away again, consistency and keeping it clean. The 2 Greek drivers have quietly got themselves into 7th and 8th. Chiamata.
and of course, just back, we're watching a Vanquish. There is a sprint has just set Vanquish on 12th to 4th. Good stuff indeed. Maxie said BP is GOAT. Of course.
Murphy on BP's short, trying to cut in there. BP made a mistake, and Dan Murphy and Vanquish are now queuing up behind him.
Or let's see what BP can do. Deneen is at the moment 6.3 seconds in front. That is quite a sizable lead, and that is also a good enough lead there to cover any undercut at the moment then. So Deneen is looking very much in control, but this is only lap 7. We've got 21 laps to go. Anything could happen in this, and usually does. And Murphy is gaining as he is going to go up the inside. He is going up the inside of turn 1, and look how wide turn 1 is. And a good move there, but BP is going to hang on the outside. Not quite, but Vanquish is also going to steer. He's on the inside. He's on the outside.
Oh no. Oh, surely not Vanquish. What a move! That is why he's a 2-time champion. Vanquish is streaming through. This is an absolutely inspired drive.
I tell you what, this man, you can't keep him down, can you? Starts 12th, up in the 3rd after 7 laps. My goodness me.
Oh, Murphy penalty is crucial. You don't want to be leading the pack. See, BP will now have DRS again. Now Dan Murphy would experience what it's like to have no DRS. And now he's going to be sitting down. Vanquish. I cannot believe this man. Started outside the top 10, and now he is second, and 2 points separate Vanquish in the championship. It's about to become the front two, because there is Vanquish, Dan Murphy down the inside, but Vanquish round the outside. Thank you very much, says the Dutchman. From 11th to P2 in 7 laps, and the 2 championship leaders are going to be going head to head at the front of this race.
You couldn't write it, you couldn't make it up, could you? That is absolutely brilliant stuff from Vanquish, carving its way through the field like a hot knife through butter from 12th to 2nd in the matter of 7 laps. That's just what you want, isn't it? Incredible
and
stuff.
Crazy Power got past BP as well on the DRS, 2nd to 5th. He needs to get back in DRS of these boys.
I think it's very tough, isn't it? When you start to lose a position or two, it feels like you're just tumbling down the order. But of course, BP is still in DRS of Crazy Power. Crazy Power has dropped out of DRS of Murphy at the moment. Murphy is still looking interested on Vanquish's Ferrari at the moment in a 2nd position. And now it'll be interesting to see what the pace is of Vanquish. Can he match Deneen? It is a massive gap of 7.5 seconds. That is a huge gap, isn't it? And as Jacob is now coming up to the back of Dave, and oh, look at that! That was a late move from Navy, but Jacob was up in the 10th position, but Dave has gone up and under. Beautiful driving from both drivers out there. I gotta say, I enjoyed that. That was good driving. Then Navy's still in 10th position, Jacob's still in 11th. It's getting fights on. Look who's behind them. It's a McLaren. It's Flying Saws, and he is going to. And Jacob's going to stick up the inside of the S's. There he is. He's done it. Brilliant move. He is on the soft compound tires, but that is great position of the car. And Jacob is in 10th position there. Navy Dave is down to 11th, and 12th position is at Saws. I've got to say that was good position of the car there from Jacob, who's in 10th position then, but it hasn't gone all his own way, has it, so far in the first 8 laps here in Austin. Oh God, that's some brilliant battles up and down the field, isn't it? We've had some great battles for 2nd between BP, between Murphy, Crazy Power, Vanquish. Brilliant stuff indeed. We've also got a good old battle here. And who is it? It's Navy. He's on the outside of Jacob there, but Jacob is still in 10th position. They're on our bus, but there's a bit of a queue before and behind Jacob now. It was all Crazy Power and BP.
Sorry, cut in there. BP just put a brilliant move on Jacob on the penultimate corner to take 4th place back again as well. The action is just absolutely fantastic. It's clean racing. Vanquish and Dan Murphy both up 10 places, and they're both scampering off from BP and Crazy Power at the moment.
And as I got to say, this has been brilliant action indeed. Wheel to wheel stuff. We had a bit of shenanigans on the opening lap, didn't we, with a bit of carbon fibre everywhere. But my goodness me, after that, I tell you what, racing, brilliant, racing craft, second to none. We're going to keep an eye on BP and Crazy Power as they are.
Oh, Crazy Power, big mistake! Big mistake by Crazy Power, and yours through. He lost it on the exit of the S's. Oh, now you're made a mistake, and Crazy Power, the Italian, charges back through on the grid driver. Tyres are screaming, guys. The tyres are absolutely screaming. The soft shod tyres. Crazy Power just had no rear end grip at all, and then Yor had no front end grip. And they both dropped into the clutches of T Sammy and New Life, who are having a fantastic battle. And there goes Yor into 5th place, and BP can scamper off.
This is ideal for BP now because he's broke the DRS, and now he can drive his own race without having to worry about what's going on in his mirror's head. So who's going to blink first? Remember that Deneen is on medium compound tyres as Flying Sauce is in front of Dutch Dave. Dutch Dave has dropped down to 12th position, and wow, it's after a great qualifying, it's not really gone to plan so far in the race, has it? Vanquish has got 3-second penalty. That's going to be very interesting.
This race is split to 2, of course, with half the grid pitting after lap 1 and having to stop again as well. This field is sort of 2 races, unless it's a safety car, they all come together. But it's playing beautifully into the hand. There, BP blinks first. The undercut is huge. Crazy Power in. T Sammy and New Life are dragging themselves along, and they could be fighting for a podium place. Dare I say it? They're having a fantastic race. New Life is using T Sammy's DRS to drag in with him, and they're working as a team beautifully. The 2 big drivers. And of course their tyres are now the prime tyres to be on. The soft tyres are gone. They're on the mediums, and they are nicely coming back into play.
And just a bit of interest, just to get interest, and Jamie there out in 12th position. Jamie only 12? What's going on here? Incredible, isn't it?
BP came out right in traffic. That has not worked out. He's come up right behind that Jamie Lucas Navy Flying Soz battle in fresher tyres, and he's right behind Jamie already. That's not worked out for him at all.
No, that's good. That's bad news as well. And it's not just he can pick them off one at a time, but that is just going to cost him, isn't it? And these guys are fighting for position as well. They're fighting for their lives up there. Lucas goes up the inside. He passes.
Medium tyres are flying through, so Dutch Dave's tyres are screaming as well. But yeah, there comes BP. He'll have the DRS, but will Dan Murphy, Vanquish and Yaw also blinking coming as well, and guard from the undercut, because BP's about to make a move on Jamie's fellow Dutchman. But they've all got DRS, so they all cancel each other out. There's Lennon in the background, and Crazy Power came out in 15th. So he lost out massively in all that.
Interesting point you made there, Dave. What would you do if you was in their positions? Would you be watching the stream and thinking, no, I don't want to go out in that traffic, or would you be trying to roll the dice coming as well just to match them?
But Dan Murphy and Vanquish, I think, do have the genuine pace. Their lap times, your blows any chance for a podium with a 5-second penalty, but Dan Murphy and Vanquish's times are generally still quite strong. They're not really been affected by the tyre wear. They've adapted to it. However, it all depends. They'll be looking at what BP, well, they won't know what BP's doing after listening to us, but they'll be keeping an eye on what BP's traffic is like, and BP is still stuck behind Jamie. He'll be desperate to get past his fellow Dutchman here. He needs to get past. Jamie's tyres are also screaming. He's on soft tyres. So this is not working out for BP at all, and playing into the hands of Dan Murphy and Vanquish.
And yeah, unfortunately, the more time he's stuck behind Jamie. Jamie's not a slow driver by any stretch of the imagination, but on the tires he's on today, it looks like, from that shot there, it looked like he had 3 softs and 1 medium there. That was interesting. But I think a bit of Bottas from Belgium. Yeah, it's not working out at all for BP, is it? Because of the traffic, this is really causing problems, isn't it, to the Greek driver? But he's now got DRS. He's got a slippery car, BP, as we seen him earlier on the race, just breezed by the Ferrari. Can he do the same now? We're on board with BP, but once again, Jamie has DRS as well, and it's just cancelling him out, isn't it? As once again, it's so annoying, isn't it, for BP? He gains just at the final third of the straight, but it's just not long enough at the moment.
This is where he loses out in these slower corners where Jamie hasn't got the grip. BP's
he's going to go the inside.
Grip, but that's opportunistic.
Wow, and he's going to go on the outside to turn 18. Oh my goodness, that's contact. Was there damage?
No,
I'm not sure if there's...
No. Yeah, there is. There's damage. Oh, they both weren't going to give that up. They both were not going to give that up. Jamie's now pitting for softs. BP's now heavily compromised with front wing damage, but as everybody else pits as well, so they're all jumping now. As Vanquish is going to jump at Jacob. No, but jumps Flying Soz, and that is crucial where Dan Murphy hasn't. But BP and Jamie, they were both never. Jamie's out.
I think, did he retire in the pits? It looks like he's
retired in the pits. He's giving up the ghost, I think. So his car's going to come back out on track. I hope it doesn't interfere, but what a shame for BP. I wonder if there'll be any words in the. I'll look out in the chat afterwards. But that's a shame.
But that is a shame. That really is. As Lennon's now all over the back of BP like a bad suit at the moment. Yeah, Vanquish there. I think that's worked out nicely for Vanquish. He's got a 2-second buffer between himself and, my word, Lennon there right on the back of BP as he's pushing him down the straight here. BP is trying to defend there. Lennon is look at him, almost the track and then some there. But Lennon is through, and there's a Ferrari behind as well. Crazy Power. Is he going to go the inside of Lennon? Oh my word. And
pressure tyres for Crazy Power, of course. Lennon on 10 lap hold soft. BP's driving like an angry man now. Yaw has put himself back into this, and in fact will now. BP's a wounded driver now, and a very that's not going to work. Yaw, that was, well, BP's damage, yes, but that was Yaw very naughty. Thankfully, no more damage for BP as Denis pits early.
That's interesting. He's gone to the hard tyre now, so I wasn't expecting that to be honest. But as now Crazy Power is all over the back of Lennon as well, and I think T Sammy is up into second position. New Life is up into third. They have to stop again, but my word, as you said, Dave, that's an incredible stint.
They haven't stopped at all yet, and not that I have not seen T Sammy pick up a penalty. Safety car would ruin a race for these guys because these guys are in a prime position right now. They have just, again, kept their nose clean, and look, what an opportunistic move. New Life hasn't had, well, he's done a few races and had some real bad luck this season. Could be a great haul of points to these two, while everybody else seems to be taking each other out at the moment.
It's been a very action-packed opening few laps here, and as BP is pitted, he's dropped down to 15th. Nosey is pitted, he's dropped down to 16th. Deneen has now got a 3-second buffer over T Sammy and New Life. I tell you what, they are working absolutely a treat together. They're just dragging each other along. They've been within a second of each other since the start of this race. Brilliant stuff as well. Yor is also within a second of Lennon. He's got a look at Lennon there, almost all the track there, but he's not giving up. And I tell you what, that is robust defending, but that is within the rules. Oh, and he's back through. Lennon there, a wise old fox, isn't he? In that pink panther, and he's back up in the 10th position there. A bit of robust defending there, but it's
Yor's done it again. Yor's done it again. The same move, and this time can he make it stick? He did it to BP a lap ago. BP has pitted again, seen as a safety car, but Lennon's tyres are starting to scream, but he's not giving up the ghost, is he? He's going for it.
I tell you what, Lennon is I really enjoyed that defending. That was good stuff. But you're there, very opportunistic, isn't he? Twice in 2 laps in the same corner there, and now can he break the DRS and get out of Lennon's DRS? Because I tell you what, Lennon's got a slippery car as well, hasn't he? In 11th position mode, he has got to pit again. He's done 12 laps on the medium tyre. And we'll leave those guys to it for now. I have a feeling that the action is far from over, but let's rejoin the battle between Vanquish and Flying Saws. And Vanquish is now up in the 5th position then, and he is on the medium compound tyres, whilst Deneen has gone the hard tyre. Do you think the Vanquish needs a pit again from there?
Well, the guys are they've done 13 laps, so no, technically no, but I think they're going to struggle at the end of this race. Deneen's played it very safe, but he leads the championship by 2 points, and he's commanding this race. Barring any mistakes, he is surely on to win this race. Not only that, Vanquish is going to be catching, or is catching, Jacob very quickly, who will be going to the end. Those hards should get him to Jacob to the end, as Crazy Power puts a lovely move on Lucas for 8th place. Crazy Power could be challenging Dan Murphy for the final podium spot. Dan Murphy will be more than aware that the charging Ferrari is now only 2.7 behind him.
Oh, this is this is a very much a strategical race, isn't it? We've lost 4 drivers in this race, unfortunately. We've lost Stam, Blaz, Ozone, and Jamie all out of this race, unfortunately. And it's going to be it is a strategical race now, and I got to say, it's going to be very tense, isn't it? Who's going to do what then? We've got all sorts going on now. We've got Deneen playing it safe. We've got Vanquish on the medium tyres, but which is the faster tyre at the moment, but that is going to be very difficult towards the end there, isn't it? As Lucas there is having, well, I think he was thinking about it by the looks. He didn't send one down the inside tyre. Turn 1 is so inviting, isn't it? It just feels like you just want to send one down the inside.
There it is. Yor could go with Crazy Power. If Yor can pass Lucas pretty quick, he could also go Crazy Power and try and catch Dan Murphy up. Dan Murphy is having one of his best races I've ever seen him have. An outstanding, up 10 places outside the top 10 in qualifying. I think he's going to have to pass Jacob on track to get that podium. But T Sammy and New Life, when they pit for soft tyres, are going to come into the race later on as well.
Yeah, they're going to be super quick towards the end. Of course, you also get points for fast laps as well, so that could be an extra incentive as well. We're on board with Lucas Head. Look in the background there. There's a Red Bull, isn't it? That's looking very ominous, isn't it? Max has just said damage sucks. Such a good race from BP. It really was. Lucas is up the inside, but he's gone very wide. Crazy Power up the inside again. He takes back 8th position, and then Lucas there getting a bit of a wild ride.
Oh,
Yor. My goodness.
Yor is not hanging about. He's putting some moves on where I've never seen cars overtake before. Yor, a man on a mission, and now right behind the back as we've got Nosey off with no front wing.
Oh, it's not going well for Nosey, is it? Remember, he's the defending super champion
as well. Jacob's got another penalty. Yeah, Nosey looks like he's cruising. Has he got a puncher? Looks like he's got a puncher. Nosey's got a rear puncher. And that is game over for Nosey, unfortunately. But Jacob has another penalty, and now Jacob has been caught by Vanquish. And they're all catching the New Life T Sammy battle.
They are indeed, and I tell you, that's the battle we got to watch, isn't it? We're on board with Jacob now. Oh my goodness me! Up and under. Oh, I thought he went to the back of him there. Jacob is up into third position. Well, I tell you what, he was really keen to get the move done, wasn't he? Now Vanquish all over the back of New Life as well. He needs to strike whilst the iron's hot, doesn't he? Because he wants to get by and follow Jacob. Remember, Jacob doesn't need to pit again. He's done what he needs to do. He's gone to soft to hard, and he's on his way. Vanquish there. Look at this. He's already, even before DRS zone, he's up to the gearbox of New Life. He goes on the outside, he breezes by New Life and up into fourth
and they're
position.
About to catch Knowles in a very difficult position. Knowles is fighting the car with, of course, his car will ghost, thankfully, with the puncher, so there'll be no problems there. But if T-Sammy and New Life are wise, they will not get involved. That's harsh for Knowles. He was avoiding all the traffic. But yeah, New Life and T-Sammy will not fight this too hard. They're in their own race. They will come into it later on.
Oh, I thought you were going to have his signature move there, because he did the same thing to BP and to Lucas earlier on there. But I thought he was going to do the same now to Crazy Life then. And Crazy Life into the pits comes New Life. Crazy Power is still in 8th position mode. So T-Sammy and New Life mirroring each other, and I got to say that is fantastic teamwork to be push them along. They've done a really good job today, haven't they?
Brilliant job. Lucas hanging on well. He'll be gutted he's got to stop again, because he's hanging on with his old 15-lap old tyres. He's hanging on to Crazy Power, and you're made a mistake. Oh, down the inside. You couldn't get it slowed down. Crazy Power from the side. This plays beautifully into the hands of Dan Murphy, who the gap stays at 3.7. He'll be hoping that's the same. Who should come off the track? Oh, I think it's Knowlesy's finally makes the pit. Credit to Knowlesy for carrying on. Navy has passed. So New Life, so T-Sammy's out in night on fresh tyres. Expect some fastest laps to come from these boys. There's a New Life getting past pole sitter TTG Navy. Oh, we didn't think we'd be saying that in this race.
No, unfortunately, Navy and Jacob. Well, Jacob went on a bad race now, is he? But he's now got a lot of pressure from the Ferrari.
Oh. Sorry, Jacob, yeah, and Dan Murphy right behind Van Flyers, and York gets past Crazy Power. He's barged his way through at the hairpin. Little bit of contact. Crazy Power will not be happy. York has put in some mega aggressive moves, and he's made him stick. York 4.5 seconds behind Dan Murphy, who's stuck behind Flying Soz, who could be pitting this lap. But now then, Jacob from Vanquish, Soz may pit, Murphy's catching them, both as if Soz doesn't pit yet, and York will drag Crazy Power to the back of Dan Murphy.
Well, that's very brilliant overtaking there from Yor, isn't it? Daniel Ricciardo-esque, isn't he? Yor is
Dan Murphy.
Oh, Dan Murphy then going on the outside, but Sol's parking it beautifully on the middle of the track there. Dan Murphy, is he going to go on the outside? It is, I think, Flying Soz there runs about a road there, and a Crazy Power parks in the middle of the track as well. York parks in the middle of the track there, and Crazy Power cannot get by, but they do have the long straight, don't they? Can Vanquish get by Jacob as well? We've got battles of two going on mode. Dutch Dave is back in the pits, and what a miserable day it is for Dave after a fantastic qualifier as well. Leonard's now moved in front of Not That Bad as well, who has dropped down to 12th then in the Mercedes, and we've got battles all over the show. It's great stuff to see. And now Vanquish is in DRS.
Really impressed with the medium tyres. 16 laps old for Flying Soz, and he's holding his own, as is Lucas. The mediums are going well, but here goes Dan Murphy.
And also Vanquish is having a look, but not quite there. But yeah, Murphy there is through and up into 4th position there from the harsh drive. What about Yor and Crazy Power? It seems that Crazy Power is not happy about the move last time around, and he wants to have another go. But Yor there defending beautifully well. Not only can this man overtake, he can also defend brilliantly, can he? That is an art, and he's done I tell you what, he's made the art his own. Is Crazy Power going to use a Yor's party trick? No, not quite around here. As
Vanquish off the road. That's cost him a handful of time, and again running wide. That may get him at DRS. Now Dan Murphy has 10 laps, or just under, to make up 5.3 on Jacob Vanquish if he wants his first podium place. Yor is catching, and Crazy Power are also catching him. Jacob is holding his own. Jacob has penalties, by the way.
He does indeed. I think he's the most, and he's got another one as well. Talking to the devil, so he's that. I think that's at least 4, isn't it? From from T Sammy with the fast lap of the line. Wow, that's a good lap there from T Sammy. So
I'll tell you what, Sean, T Sammy's only 4 seconds behind Lucas, who's only 2 seconds behind Your and Crazy Power. Can T Sammy, you like to drop back, but can T Sammy back himself a top 5? Flying Sauce will surely have to stop again.
And BP getting a penalty, and he's out of the race, unfortunately. But such a shame, though. He was battling on the podium as well, wasn't it? It was a fantastic battle earlier on there, but it's just not gone his way. It's not gone it's not gone a lot of drivers' way who've had some good qualifying, isn't it? It's a shame for Navy and well, I was going to say, I keep saying it's shameful Jacob, but he is battling with Vanquish beautifully well. Murphy there is repelling the attack from Flying Sauce, and look at the background. It's Crazy Power, it's Yor, and once again Yor there is I tell you what, Yor is brilliant at defending, isn't he? How do you...
This battling is costing them, though. It's costing them getting to the back of Dan Murphy. They're not... They want to sort of drag each other along, but Crazy Power, who will probably feel a bit aggrieved in the move that you're put on him, is trying to get him back. And Lucas is still keeping a watching brief. They're tired. If Flying Sauce going to try and go to the end, that would be something up there. He's hanging on well. It looks like he's got plenty of grip left in those tyres.
He needs to be careful about punctures, though, doesn't he? Do you think that when will puncture territory come into play there for Flying Sauce, or do you think it'll be alright?
Are you racing? Not that bad. The two Super League drivers going side by side into the right-handers. And not that bad, hanging on to 12th place, but this is fascinating battle between the two runaway Super League drivers.
This could be a mental battle as well, couldn't it? If IRC Racing puts a move on not that bad as well, this could also fly over to tomorrow as well, or in the final 3 races. Yeah, so this is a very interesting dynamic, isn't it? Of course, this is more of getting your eye in ready for next season for both these two drivers, but it's definitely an interesting dynamic, isn't it? It really is indeed. As Navy has just got the fast on the race, and Lua come out of the minute because Vanquish is on the outside, and Jacob has dropped down the 3rd position. Then, as so Vanquish is back up in the 2nd position. Then, so he's trying to minimise the damage. The gap in the championship will be down to, well, no, it'll be up to 9 points then, which is still very close, isn't it? It's so close to call, but yeah, 9 points is the gap at the moment, with a potential 52 points on offer as we go into Brazil in a week's time, and that's a perilous track, isn't it?
Yeah,
old school track.
That's going to be a wild one as well. Big move for Vanquish. Timed it perfectly as well. He was in no rush. I think he knows Deneen's checked out in front. No rush to get past Jacob. He's on the harder compound. Vanquish made a big mistake there. Jacob may get a run back at him.
Also Vanquish there, yeah, there's a look. Jacob there, he's a bit of a long way back, but my goodness me, that was a move and a half. But
has he done it? Has he done it? No.
Whoa, that was a bit of a lunge there, wasn't it, from Jacob then? But yeah, I think that well, it was fair as long as they didn't touch, Vanquish. I got to say the
fair play to Vanquish. He saw that coming. He literally got out the way, knowing that Jacob was going to run it out on the outside. Wise old head from Vanquish.
And I got to say, Dave, an incredible drive today from both Deneen and Vanquish. Deneen there, very calmly got himself up into the lead and is really checked out. He's done everything he needs to do. Vanquish from down in 12th position up into 2nd. It's been an absolutely barnstorm. We'll come back to that in a minute, because once again, IRC Racing are not that bad.
Yeah,
they can't leave each other alone, can they?
Brilliant racing. They'll be enjoying this. It's only for 12th and 13th place, but my word, they'll both be smiling. They both enjoy the racing, as anybody does when it's this good, fair and clean. T Sammy's about to pass Lucas, and Crazy Power has got Yor in the background. There is T Sammy, and T Sammy is only 5.5 seconds behind Crazy Power and Yor, who are both catching Flying Sauce.
Oh, this is and it's gone very dull all of a sudden, hasn't it? I don't think there's any rain on the horizon, but my goodness me, we had a lovely sunshine. Now all of a sudden it's gone very, very dull indeed as we enter in the final stages of this race. But yeah, going back to the championship leaders of Deneen and Vanquish, they've played an absolute barnstorm today, haven't they? For different reasons. Deneen there is just did a really good job, controlled the race absolutely splendidly well. Vanquish has fought from 12th on the grid up to 2nd, and it just shows a bit of a champion's drive.
That's going to cost. This could cost Jacob a top 5. All these penalties. Dan Murphy will now be in place for his first ever Elite League podium. And my word, what a race that man's had as well. started outside the top 10. You're right with Deneen. He stuck on the medium tyres and he got the jump over the soft run tyres at the start and led this race. The start was crucial for Deneen on the harder compound, and you're right, he nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. And Jacob is still right behind Vanquish. Dan Murphy and co will be praying for something to happen between these two, as will Deneen.
Yeah, definitely, as well as there's...
maybe.
So our pole sitter's out of the race, unfortunately. It's been a bit of a tough return there from Navy, but my goodness, he had a very good qualifying.
Not a bad day for the Dutch, apart from Vanquish, but Navy, BP, Jamie, all of them out, and all of them looking so promising. It's just gone south, hasn't it? I think, by the way, Flying Sauce and Lucas are going to try and go to the end, and Crazy Power has been passed by Yor again, and they're still side by side. Crazy Power on the outside will have the inside. Now, will he do a Yor move? Yor's past some drivers here. Yor sees it. He knows it. He made it. Good defending by Yor. This is fantastic stuff. And T. Sammy is only 4.6 behind. He's coming, boys.
He is indeed, isn't he? And Flying Sauce is just under 2 seconds up the road as well. We got a yellow flag in sector 1. I think that's Knowlesy just getting out. I think he's just getting out of the way of the league runners as Navy has left the session there, unfortunately. But I've got to say, this has been a battle royale between Yor and Crazy Power, hasn't it? It's been a battle of the ages.
Sorry, T-Sam made a massive mistake at last corner. That's cost him a handful of time. But then with Yor and Crazy Power battling tooth and nail, Jacob's back in DRS of Vanquish.
I was going to say, there's an interesting dynamic going on. I think. Do you think the hard tyres are now starting to come into their own now because of the wear of the medium tyres? Do you reckon, or do you reckon that Jacob has just got the bit between his teeth?
Well, I heard last week in Mexico that the hard tyres would go off, would really grain for 3-4 laps, no grip, and all of a sudden just come back in. And I wonder, with Jacob in DRS now, I wonder if that's happened to Jacob. One of his tyres have gone off a bit, grained up, and now come back in.
The only problem that Jacob's got is he needs to get this pass done quite early, because he's got at least 12 seconds worth of penalty, possibly even more. So he's going to have to really get on with it, and that he needs to have a mighty end to this race to even think about getting second.
But I was thinking it short, because they're 8.5 now ahead of Dan Murphy. They could do it. Dan Murphy's dropped off a lot more than what I expected, so it could still be on. As Yor and Crazy Power have caught the back of Flying Sauce. These tyres are screaming. 21 laps, they're risking punches, surely.
Yeah, I think that, of course, so it's a bit like the Kimi Räikkönen scenario, isn't it? Back in the Nürburgring, isn't it? You might as well go for broke, haven't you? And see what you could do. Of course, because Flying Sauce is on course for 10 points. If he pits now, that will probably take him out the points, I believe, Dave, wouldn't it?
Take him out the points, no doubt about it. Taking out the points, there's no field spread. Amazingly, despite half the pack pitting up lap 1, they've all come together again. The one stop's very much the way to go. They've made it work. Jacob is absolutely hassling the back of that Ferrari.
And you can see as they come down into turn 10 once again. Then, and I tell you, this is not really what Vanquish wants, really, is it? But I feel that Vanquish would not be too concerned if Red overtakes him, knowing that hopefully Jeff would have informed him about the penalties that Jacob has had. But you can see, though, I think Jacob would still love to overtake him. He's had I'd say that Jacob's had a very strong race, considering the fact that it wasn't.
This is late. Oh my word, hold your breath. Vanquish should be doing the same. He does not. He's got on the outside, Jacob.
Oh my word, that is mighty bold. That is brilliant.
Now the inside. He'll have this done, Sean. This'll be it. He's done it.
Oh,
wow.
It's getting squirmish, but that is oh no, Vanquish is back on the inside, Dave. That's incredible. Look, they're side by side going into turn 18. Fantastic manoeuvre there from Vanquish. Brilliant racing.
Wow. That could have been an airplane crash. Absolutely supreme racing from both of them. That was absolutely incredible.
Oh, Jacob's lost it.
Oh,
sorry.
Jacob, wow, good save.
Oh my God, I thought he was in the wall. And I tell you what, Jacob, wow, how, sir. But all his efforts been undone. But my goodness me, Flying Sauce, Yor Crazy Power. Oh, they're all split by 7/10 of a second. Here we go again, everyone. And now his Crazy Power there is now all over the back of Yor as they come into turn 1. And this is he wasn't going to go for it yet. Then, oh my goodness, where to look? It's been incredible. Lennon is also a whole lot back.
Little break. These two have been wise. Yor sort of dragged Crazy Power to the back of Flying Sauce. Now they've sort of left each other alone. But I tell you what, T Sammy has no penalties. Yours picked up a few, Flying Swords has picked up a few. T Sammy could go for a top 5 here. He's sitting in the background, he's not caught this pack up anymore. His soft tyres have seen the best. So he could still be in for a top 5, but Dan Murphy, I still think he's on for the podium.
Brilliant drive from Dan today, isn't it? Driver of the day, my goodness me. It's a bit like the pole position, wasn't it? Earlier on, you could pick it out of a hat. It could be any one of these drivers today. Jacob's done a fantastic job, hasn't he? Really has for a recovery drive. Deneen has done exactly what you asked for. We'll come out in a minute because now Yor and Flying Sauce are side by side. Flying Sauce is on the inside. Oh, bit of a clump there. Was that damage to the ring? Let's take a look. Oh, no,
it is now. It is now.
That's a big old clump, and now is Crazy Power is now up into 5th position. It's getting very, very bumpy here, isn't it? It's elbows out, everything. Crazy Power is now up into 5th position, and he's going to be happy with that, isn't he?
His tyres have gone, Sean. Flying Swords, he's got nothing left. He couldn't defend. There was only a matter of time before that was going to happen for Yor. That's a Crazy Power picks up a penalty. All playing T Sammy's hands. Lennon's in the points again. Could be on for his 3rd point scoring finish. And Ryan Vanquish and Jacob. Oh, Jacob ran wide on turn 1. Nearly had it. Yor pits. Game over for Yor. That could see him at the points. I could see, are you racing? Where's Lucas gone?
And Lucas has also dropped down like a stone because I think his tyres are struggling as well because he's on 23 lap old tyres. Oh, that's
He's spun. He's off. Yeah, he lost his front.
He's got a puncture. He's got a puncture, Dave. I think that's what the problem is. Yours got a puncture on the left rear. I think
that was over yours. Oh, he's spun in the pits. That was over yours front wing. Oh, he's missed the pits. Oh no, shouldn't laugh. Yeah, that's what I would have done. Wow, these are dropping like flies now. Are you racing? Could be on for his first Elite League points. And Jacob's done it into P2. Jacob has passed Vanquish.
Incredible move there from Jacob, and he is now up into 2nd position. What a shame for Lucas there, but yeah, Jacob, I tell you what, he sized up Vanquish beautifully there. He has got the move done, and I tell you, no side-by-side action this time, which Jacob would be happy about. I wouldn't be happy about because I would love to have a replay of that again because that was fantastic driving. And yellow flag, I think it's for Lucas's car.
Yeah, Lucas is stricken Toro Rosso. If he was happy, Vanquish picked a penalty. He's got a couple now. Keep an eye, it's going to be a fascinating end. There's happy drivers out there. Lennon, T Sammy on for some good points again. Lennon on for his best finish in Elite in a long time. New Life is going to pick up a couple more points. Are You Racing has dropped, not that bad. He's on for his first Elite League points, not that bad. Agonisingly 11th place after the horrible start he made. He would love to clinch a point late on, but Vanquish still right behind Jacob.
I gotta say, I enjoyed that battle, and I still hold a hope. I still hope that we see Jacob and Vanquish battling next season as well. I would absolutely love it. Jacob's got no penalty.
Well, Flying Sauce. So T Sammy is, I'm pretty sure, on for a top 5, but Jacob could be dropping down to 5th. Ooh, Power has penalties as well. Jacob may get away with it, but my word, this is an incredible race. Are You Racing picks a penalty. I don't know who. Denis's going to win. Vanquish is 2nd. I think that's the only certainty at the moment in this race.
It's incredible. A brilliant race. It's really hard said, as you can see. It's not as sunny as it was when we started this race. It's gone very overcast. It's very dull indeed. Deneen, wow, brilliant drive today. That's a champion's drive, isn't it? Same with Vanquish though, but for different reasons, very different reasons. And Vanquish there is, look at that understeer on that Ferrari. They're really struggling to get around turn 18 now. As Jacob there is still within DRS of Vanquish, as we are on the final lap of this incredible Grand Prix here in America. There you see the Williams there just going up the hill, as Denis now is going for his 3rd Grand Prix win of Elite and his 3rd Grand Prix win of the season. And this is a major step forward, isn't it, in terms of the championship. Has he got one finger on the title now? Possibly, but it's still too early to call, isn't it? It's still too early to call, and we're on round 19 out of 21. How is that real? It's incredible, isn't it? It's but a fantastic race today. Well, like all other 18 races this season, it's been brilliant, hasn't it, from start to finish. And here's Denis now. I gotta say, this man's been impressive, hasn't he? Of course, his first win in Elite was a bit unusual, wasn't it, with the Chinese Grand Prix ending a bit prematurely. But I got to say, today, nothing unusual about this race. Dominant, as Yours got the fast out of the race. Unfortunately, he won't get that point.
Yeah, he's got the points. IU Racing has caught the back of New Life. IU Racing could go for a couple of points, but my driver, Jacob and Vanquished. Vanquished does not want this late on. Dan Murphy, my driver of the day. Absolutely outstanding. Deserved podium, deserved first podium. What a way to get it as well, starting way out the top 10. Harry called it in the comments. Strategy 1-all.
Well, we got a bit of rain as well, Dave, just to spice things up on the end then. But I think it's come a bit too late to cause any problems for the drivers. Deneen comes through the final corner for the final time, and he wins his third race of the season. Brilliant stuff from Deneen. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And coming through is Jacob and Vanquish. Brilliant stuff. And IU Racing is now into ninth position as Vanquish goes in second.
So where's Jacob going to finish? The drivers are struggling. New Life made a big mistake and let IU Racing through the rain, starting to play a bit of havoc. Is Dan Murphy on the podium?
He is.
He is!
And look, Crazy Power.
Crazy Power's going now. What about Flying Swords and T Sammy? T Sammy surely on for a top 5.
He's 5th.
Yeah, he did. Well done. Jumped Jacob as well. Outstanding race. I don't think he picked up one penny. Lennon, 3-point finishes in a row, and IU Racing and New Life. Great race, great recovery. New Life, in fact, jumped IU Racing, so good result for New Life. IU Racing, 10th, not that bad. I think penalties have cost him. Yeah, wow. Great race. Great race, but Deneen, I think you're right, has got one finger on that championship.
And I got to say, it is a fantastic drive from Deneen today. Brilliant stuff from the Williams driver. Absolutely fantastic. Nosey coming through to finish 13th in the end then. An incredible drive from T Sammy again. I tell you, he is Mr. Clean, isn't he? I got to say, he is brilliant stuff from T Sammy today. Vanquished there. A great drive indeed, as we were saying in the broadcast. I think that you can tell those two are top of the championship, counting by the way they drove today. Murphy, your driver of the day, Dave. I cannot disagree with you. That was a brilliant drive from Dan Murphy. He was well on the grid, wasn't he? And yeah, Harry caught it beautifully well, didn't he? And as Denise just said, that was a smooth operation. Smooth operator.
Smooth operator. Yeah, that was a good race. I don't think. I'd tell you how close the championship in this league has been. I don't think anyone's had more than 3 wins this season. I think Deneen joins Samster and Vanquish on 3 wins apiece. Yours on 2. I don't think anyone's won more than 3 races this season, have they?
I think Vanquish has got 4.
Oh, Vanquish may have 4. But it's Deneen that leads the championship now by 6 points as we head to Brazil, where weather could play a big effect. Qualifying will be separated. It's such a short track. Qualifying has to be separated by, we're talking thousandths of a second. But yeah, look at that. But Deneen, no penalties. As Dan Murphy, driver of the day, outstanding race, Dan. First ever Elite League podium, and it was well earned, mate. Congratulations.
Oh, mate, I'm so ecstatic about that. My first ever IRC podium, and it come in the Elite League. Wow.
And earned, mate, because your strategy was spot on. You started what, 12th, 13th?
13th, I think it was.
Absolutely outstanding. Talk us through your race, because the start looked absolutely chaotic in the midfield.
Yeah, I got off the line pretty well and just avoided all the carnage. Went on the outside of turn 1, and I think I was 4th or 5th by the end of turn 1, so I was pretty stoked about that. And then Jacob had some troubles, and Vanquish didn't seem that quick off the start, so I managed to get into 3rd before the pit stops. We pitted to come back out 7th, and the end result I finished 3rd, which absolutely ecstatic about.
It seemed once you'd stopped, you were focusing more on staying consistent and avoiding those penalties. Was that the case? Did you know that Jacob had a ton of penalties?
No, with really fast guys like Jacob, they drive to the track limits, and it does lead to a lot of penalties. So I kind of had that thought in the back of my mind, and I was trying to save my airs, trying to keep a gap between me and Fly Insides, because I knew I had a 3-second penalty. Then Crazy Power got past him, and then he started putting the hammer down, so I had to use more airs. It was a whirlwind of a race, but it was a really great race.
You were sort of helped out because your and Crazy Power were absolutely going at it wheel to wheel and holding each other up with flying sods that they really couldn't sort themselves out and get on the back here, which was a massive relief to yourself.
Yeah, I'll take any help I can get to secure a podium.
That's right.
15 points at the end of the day.
And it puts you right in the battle for the midfield now as well. That puts you right with the boys. You could finish top 10 this championship, which would be an incredible result.
Yeah, it's not bad considering I've only done 7 races, something like that in the Elite League.
Silverstone, I think you joined in Silverstone, so about it was your 7th race.
Yeah, Silverstone was my first race, yeah, so it's not bad for 7 races in.
And Nosey, yet again, you were on the wrong end of some bad luck. Hello. It's alright, mate. Hello, mate. That's alright, mate. Yeah, wrong end of bad luck. Oh, well, this is the first race with no traction at all, so I thought I'd stick it out. Oh, good man. Oh, I did wonder, because you can qualify, and I thought, well, doesn't look very stable, but that explains that. How did you find it?
The setup was good. It was just I didn't have a clue what I was doing. That's all. No, it was well, I got a puncture as well, which really didn't help. Put me a lap down as well. So I was just hoping a bit more people were retired, so I'd get in the points that way.
And you were right in the middle of all that at the start as well. How did you see that first couple of laps? It looked carnage around you.
To be honest, I think I caused it. So, I don't know. I did try and put the power down and spun the car, and then I think it was New Life went into the side of me. So yeah, sorry about that.
Now, well, New Life ain't complaining because he managed to bag himself a point in the end. But Dan and Nolsey, Brazil, Abu Dhabi next. You both confident of getting something out of these last 2 races?
I can't stand Abu Dhabi, if I'm honest.
But I think many can.
It is a horrible track. I can't get a rhythm round there, and it puts me off. Brazil's not too bad as long as it don't rain. Should be a good race.
I don't have a hope. Genuinely. After today, I'm like, oh, I just got to go and practice.
But if you can pull it off, we've seen the guys who started the season OTC and were nowhere, like BP, and now look at them, they're fighting for podiums. So the practice is going to come good.
And Dan Murphy, yeah, he practiced. Yeah,
and of course, yeah, Dan, you're with an OTC as well, aren't you?
Yeah, only since starting the Elite League, I think. I've been doing it properly.
It's just a practice, isn't it? And you're going to get there. Deneen, the start for you, mate. Won you the race. Talk us through your race.
Well, you know, an absolute flyover start. But can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Did I do anything to Jacob? Because he just messaged me saying, "Mate, you're dirty as fuck. You was a brake testing me every corner in the intention of breaking my wing in the first lap." Then I said, "Okay, boomer."
Well, I don't. Well, you were on the harder tyre. Well, Jacob had 5 lap old softs at the start, and you were on the. You were always going to be slower off the start. But I didn't see anything. anything. To be honest with you, I was watching the chaos in the midfield. I didn't see anything between you two, but. Your start was crucial. The medium tyres, was that the plan to get out ahead and go?
Yeah. You know, I knew their tyres would fall off the cliff very quickly with the S section. You know, tyre temp would be a problem and stuff for them on the softer tyres. You know, I managed to get ahead, and then Jacob obviously is 4 or 5 lap old tyres. You know, they fell off fairly quickly, so I was able to pull a gap and just kind of run my own race for most of it.
And even though Vanquish was starting outside the top 10, he's still finished in second place. He's still only 6 points behind you. We're in for an epic final 2 races between yourselves. Do you feel you've got one finger on the trophy, or are you taking nothing for granted yet?
No, because 6 points, that's only a race win or something like that. So you know, sorry that close. Did you say it was 6 points?
6 points, yeah, 6 points.
Yeah, you know, it's only a race win or something that would equal up to, so that's, you know.
It's and how do you fancy chances in Brazil and Abu Dhabi?
Well, you know, I enjoy Brazil, I'm pretty good at it, but then there's Abu Dhabi, that's just a fucking travesty.
Yeah, I think everyone shares the same opinion about Abu Dhabi. I think Abu Dhabi could be an absolute bin fest. Brilliant stuff. Sean, what a race. Who was your driver of the day, Sean?
Oh, I would say Dan Murphy, but you know, I'm not sure. No, I have
What
to
do you
go.
mean would
Give it to
say?
Vanquish.
No, I
What
would
do you
say.
mean would say?
I thought Nosy Joe was a spectacular race. To be honest, that
I
would be
think
my.
you've already
mate.
said it. I think
It
you've
was
already
me.
said it,
It was all
Sean.
me.
No, I think it has to
Controlled the
be.
race from the back.
You did a really good job. I got to say, your control when you had a puncher was amazing. But I got to say, Dan Murphy was definitely driver of the day for me. Fantastic, really well done. But it was also close. It was a close thing though between Dineen and Vanquish as well, because with championship pressure, it just it makes everything you do that much more important, doesn't it? So, but well done to both those two today as well.
And a shout to T Sammy as well, who started way down. Again, no penalties, and pulled a great. Him and New Life just absolutely teamed up with a DRS and worked together brilliantly. A usual midfield, lower midfield runner. Another top 5 for T Sammy, who is looking quite ominous for the Super League.
He is indeed. I would say that he's probably going to be one of the favourites for next season. I think for the title, because my goodness me, the way he keeps it clean, fantastic. It's looking good for both leagues next season, both Elite and Super, isn't it? With caliber drivers in Elite and also Super as well. I'm really looking forward to that as well. And Super is wide open in my opinion. Wow.
Nope. Sure.
Sorry. Anyway, cool. I think that we are going to wrap it up there. So thank you everyone for joining us tonight. It's been absolutely fantastic tonight. Really, well, what do you expect? It's Elite Wednesday, isn't it? Brilliant stuff. Of course, next week we are going to Brazil. I gotta say, that's a great track, isn't it? Old school track as well. Anything can happen. There'll be safety cars, there'll be rain, there'll be everything going on. And hey, who knows? We might even have a good old Ferrari showdown again. Well, hopefully not, because Vanquish does need a good result, doesn't he, to keep himself in the championship hunt. Tomorrow night is the Super night, and of course we are back in Kota, and we not that bad. Is a bit under a bit of pressure, isn't he? As of late, and it's opened the door, hasn't it? Maybe a jar between himself and Jonathan Cox and Are You Racing. That's at 8 p.m. tomorrow. Next week is Brazil. Join us tomorrow though, because that's going to be fantastic. From now though, it's goodbye.